My time is up, master. Please don't speak. I'll go down the mountain and fetch a doctor for you. No need. Our sect already owes the healer down the mountain 30 taels of silver. They said if they come again, they'll cut out my kidney to pay the debt. A short silence follows. Now please continue with your last words. The dying master reaches for the sect's greatest legacy. Perhaps it's our most treasured sword manual, passed down for thousands of years. Our founder used it to dominate the world, suppress every hero, and establish our sect forever. The legendary technique sounds impossible. Could it be the invincible sword technique? Yes, its name is the most shameless is invincible. Master, you misspelled sword. It should mean a precious sword, not shamelessness. Stop biting. This is our founders. The revelation finally lands. The Pen sect's patriarch was illiterate, and everyone followed the wrong path for 1,000 years. Remember to carry on the sect's glory. The master is slipping away. Master, don't die. Outside, 187 creditors demand payment. If you leave, who will deal with them? Pay back the debts. The nameless sword sect is already being demolished. Other transmigrators become holy sons or god emperors. After 3 years here, I have only watched my master starve. The disaster reaches the sect itself. The sect is about to be demolished too. A system message identifies my inheritance. Host officially inherits the nameless sword venerable title and qualifies as a corporate legal person. The new power awakens. The strongest boss in the heaven system is binding. System. I have a system too. This system helps its host become the strongest boss in the heavens. The system lays out its rules. Anyone who voluntarily signs an employment contract with the host becomes employed. For every point an employee's cultivation rises, the host receives a 100-fold boost. The advantage is clear. You mean the stronger my employees become, the stronger I become? Correct answer. Congratulations, host. You've received a beginner gift pack, a top-tier Emperor cultivation experience card, lasting 3 minutes. 3 minutes is barely useful. 3 minutes isn't even enough for a trip to the toilet. The system adds one restriction. Once activated, the experience card cannot be paused. My attention returns to the creditors outside. Never mind that, I'll deal with them first. Sorry, debt disputes fall under labor relations. This system provides no violent debt collection services. Your broken system is quite law-abiding. I survey the situation. 3 minutes in the main hall, 0 employees and creditors everywhere. With the sect collapsing around me, my first day of cultivation begins. I, Chase, have begun cultivating. A creditor points toward the ruined sect. Chase, your master owes me money worth 3 pigs. The threat becomes immediate. If you don't pay today, I'll turn this dilapidated temple into a pig farm. Boss Wang, calm down. The debtor was the previous legal representative. I only took over this company tonight. What legal representative? Every wrong has its source, and every debt has its debtor. Who owes you money? Who are you going to find? Your master is dead. Where am I supposed to find him? Go find the king of hell. His body is still warm. The argument turns into a siege. Why don't you go in and ask him now? Stop arguing with me. Then the order comes. Brothers, break it down. From inside, Warren calls out, don't worry about me. The attackers want Warren's innate sword bones. You go quickly. Warren refuses to abandon the girl. If you want to leave, leave together. Warren stands between the girl and the snow sword sect. I, Warren, will never hand you over. Your Dantian is destroyed, and you still act like a hero, saving the beauty. The enemy treats the girl as property. My young master has taken a liking to this girl's innate sword bone. It's a blessing he's accumulated over several lifetimes. The surrounded pair face death together. Are we really going to die here today? Their value is extraordinary. One carries the reincarnation of an ancient sword emperor, while the other possesses an immaculate innate sword bone. These aren't two unfortunate people. They're two priceless company shares waiting for an initial public offering. The system confirms the opportunity. 2 top talents detected. Host, complete the recruitment immediately. A new voice cuts through the standoff. Where did this beggar come from? Get out. I thrust an employment contract toward them. After signing, your lives are in my hands. I'm not afraid of death. A Bloodsword sect fighter erupts. How dare you snatch someone from in front of my Bloodsword sect? The document is titled the Sleepless Rent Reduction Employee Onboarding Agreement. What is an employment contract? It means you work for me. I'll provide a cultivation platform, promotion channels, and limited personal safety guarantees. Their first assignments are simple. In the company's early stages, you'll handle security, and he'll manage the front desk. Later, performance can earn you a reassignment. What does the front desk do? When someone bangs on the door, ask first whether they have an appointment. Joining my sect can save your life. But survival is only the beginning. Work hard and you'll receive 5 social insurances and 1 housing fund. What are 5 social insurances and 1 housing fund? 5 dangers. I'll carry a gold ingot. The system warns. Year-end warning. False promises may violate employment regulations. Shut up. I keep selling the dream. What's wrong with drawing 2 pies when starting a business? The Blood Sword sect steward storms in. Kid, you dare poach people before my blood sword sect? How can this be allowed? I call it talent mobility. This is two-way selection, with free flow of talent. I'm flowing, you old man. A warning cuts through the clash. Watch out. The system activates an Earth Experience card. After a brief pause, it announces, top-tier Earth Cultivation Experience card activated. The system starts the countdown. Remaining time, 2 minutes, 59 seconds. The steward stares as I catch his blood fiend sword chi bare-handed. Holy crap, this is Earth Cultivation. Power floods through me. I feel like I could extinguish a volcano with 1 P. The system counts down. 2 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. Even the steward's ancestral butcher knife bends toward me. Even my ancestral butcher knife is bowing to him. The steward finally understands the gap. Great Emperor, you are Earth. I let him see the reason behind my confidence. Now you know why I dared to recruit them, right? The blood sword sect steward drops his arrogance. Senior, spare my life. This junior was blind and didn't know there were people you had your eye on. I ask, do you know what's most taboo in the workplace? This junior didn't know. Senior, please spare my life. Go back and tell your sect leader these two are now official employees of my nameless sword sect. The warning becomes absolute. Anyone who dares touch my employees, I will destroy their sect. I turn to the two recruits. What do you think? One asks. Senior, with your extraordinary cultivation, why look at two useless people like us? Because I never look at an employee's past, only whether they can create value for the boss. Their past does not matter to me. I will rebuild your shattered Dantian. Leon answers for both of them. As long as you can save Brother Warren, I am willing to do anything for you. The system confirms the recruitment. Congratulations, host. You have successfully recruited employees. Warren and Leon have officially joined the company. The system warns, Earth Cultivation Experience card, 10.98 seconds remaining. A Snow Sword Sect projection appears and demands, who dares injure my Snow Sword Sect disciple? I recognize him. Is that Shu Wei, the Snow Sword Sect leader? Shu Wei realizes the borrowed power is ending. Respected expert, has the Earth Cultivation Experience card expired? No way. I feel the threat returning. The card has expired and this beast is already here. Back to ordinary chi refining. I am too weak to kill a chicken. Shui Wei declares, today I will wipe out your nameless sect, leaving not a single one alive. I laugh. I was wondering why you were so weak. One finger was enough. That strike used only 100 millionth of my strength. A careless motion destroys the landscape. My hand slipped and accidentally flattened 7 mountains. I send the projection back with a message. Tell your main body to wash its neck and come in person. Don't send any clones. Shameful. Shua Wei demands the answer. Who exactly are you? The system cuts in. Host is facing a sword venerable level, life-threatening danger. The system begins charging the beginner sect Guardian formation. Newbie sword sect gift pack. Guardian sword formation charging. I need time. Please stall for time. I confront the blood sword sect steward. Your steward came here without cause and disrupted my sect's operations. Then I name the price. Pay 3,000 spirit stones. He startled 2 new employees, so I'll accept 2,000 as emotional distress compensation. I add another charge. Your face is blocking my sect's feng shui. Add another 1,000. You bastard, how dare you extort me? My sword formation begins stirring. My sword has truly become... All right, enough nonsense. The blood sword sect steward answers with force. Today I'll show you what it means to be a big shop bullying its customers. The formation erupts around my sect. Impossible. This is an ancient sect protecting sword formation. The system reports the cost. The beginner sect protecting sword formation is exhausted. Only 1 activation remains. It adds the harsher truth. The host's true cultivation is chi refining stage, with only 1 activation left. I accept the weakness. That's right. Even if I'm useless, it doesn't matter. These recruits are my answer. They are a reincarnated sword emperor and a man with innate sword bones. Their growth will carry me upward. As long as they work themselves to the bone and become stronger, I, their boss, will rise with them. Warren looks over the setup. Sect Master, what are these formations and talismans? I correct him immediately. These aren't talismans. They're part of your onboarding process. The blood contracts served another purpose. We signed those yesterday. They're labor contracts, dealing only with whether you belong to me. Now I explain the paperwork. This is onboarding material. It concerns how I'll manage you from now on. The first form appears. Fill in your name, place of origin, and emergency contact. I clarify the final field. The emergency contact is who the sect should notify if something happens to you. This section is optional. The real rule is confidentiality. After joining, no one may reveal sect information, especially anything about me, to outsiders. Warren sees no reason for secrecy. The sect master is powerful and upright. Why hide anything? I explain the danger. Because too much must stay hidden, including the fact that I'm only a useless chi refining cultivator. We prevent trouble before it starts. Warren, you're head of security. Su Liang becomes receptionist and takes over the accounts. I'll handle reception and accounting. Can you do it? Yes. You look more like a sect master handling money than he does. I remind them, you saved both of us. That's a great favor. Then I reveal the cost of that favor. But my dantian was shattered by the sword learning sect long ago. I've lost all my cultivation. I'm weaker than an ordinary sword apprentice, so I can't protect the sect. Warren lowers the matter to its bleak conclusion. That's all, sect master. Does it matter that you were once a genius? No, it doesn't. My recruitment rule is simple. I don't care about background or seniority. I care whether you still have value. Your dantian is shattered, repair it. In the nameless sword sect, there are no useless employees, only assets waiting to be repaired. The system announces a newbie recruitment reward. I immediately make my request. Exchange it for a pill that can reshape the dantian. The system confirms. Detected. The host has completed the newbie recruitment task. The system reports. Reward issued. Boss points multiplied by 5. Beginner dantian reshaping pill consumed 500 boss points. The system asks, exchange? Yes. All spent? Yes. I hand the pill to Warren. Eat it and restore your body. This is Warren's first KPI since joining. He protests. Sect master, you used such a precious pill on someone useless like me. Useless, I correct him. You're my fixed asset, bought at great expense. I push the pill back toward him. If you refuse to use it, the loss is mine, not yours. Eat it. The pill reshapes Warren's dantian, and he breaks through into the sword path realm. The system immediately triggers my 100-fold feedback. Feedback. The system completes the settlement. My cultivation leaps from the first level of chi refining straight to the sword master realm. Warren stares at me. Sect master, you are only sitting there, yet your cultivation skyrocketed. I did nothing. I just sat here and drank tea. Warren's breakthrough gives me the answer. My employees are my greatest cultivation resource. The stronger they become, the stronger I become. Warren, strike while the iron is hot. Break through again. Sect master, your subordinate is incompetent. My dantian has only just recovered, and my foundation is unstable. Warren explains the danger. Advancing further requires enormous spirit stones to nourish your meridians. Force it, and you could suffer chi deviation. I brush the problem aside. Spirit stones are a small matter. Su Liang, how many spirit stones remain in the sect account? The security department approved them all. What's wrong? How much is left? 10,000? 20,000? The answer lands hard. The sect master doesn't have a single spirit stone in his account. Su Liang adds the worst truth. The nameless sword sect also owes 3,000 spirit stones to outsiders. 3,000 spirit stones? The numbers force a grim comparison. This company has no cash flow and is technically bankrupt. Then a creditor arrives. Sect master, is it? Your dead master owed Zushin Medical Hall and several northern wilderness families 3,000 spirit stones. You have 3 days to repay it. Fail, and this land, this mountain, and even your 2 disciples become payment to Zushin Medical Hall. Someone warns the creditor. Manager Zhao, this man isn't to be trifled with. Manager Zhao scoffs. A few days ago, he destroyed even the Bloodsword sect master's clone with 1 sword. Nonsense. He looks over our failing sect. What powerful figures could a dilapidated sect have? I could defeat its gatekeepers with 1 hand. But if I do, that 3,000 spirit stone debt still has to be paid in 3 days, right? Fine, I'll remember that. After the creditor leaves, I issue orders. Warren, Leon, go back and inform everyone. There are only 3 people in the sect, so I call the meeting myself. The Nameless Sword Sect's first all-staff meeting is now in session. The sole agenda is repaying 3,000 spirit stones within 3 days. Everyone, speak freely. Leon offers the first proposal. Sect Master, withhold food expenses. Cut our meals from 2 a day to 1. Leon, there are only 3 of us. We already eat once a day. Cut more, and we'll eat every other day. Warren raises his hand. Sect Master, I have a plan. The Bloodsword sect is incredibly wealthy. I'll lead a night raid and clear the 3,000 spirit stone debt overnight. I reject the plan immediately. Warren, their leader is a sword venerable, while you're only a sword disciple. That's suicide, not robbery. I won't push employees into a fire pit. Cutting expenses is useless. We increase our income instead. Warren begins. Master, we only have... My attention catches on another possibility. You left me such a valuable asset. The system recognizes Warren's true sword essence. I see the price at once. The true essence of swordsmanship can easily sell for 3,000 spirit stones. The more shameless the seller, the harder he is to defeat. I laugh, but the prospective buyer isn't amused. I thought you were a genuine expert. Your face looks like the secret formula for a street vendor's miracle pills. The buyer points at the sword cultivators. You're trying to scam me, and you're even targeting sword cultivators. Laughter follows the accusation. I had hoped to sell the essence and raise 3,000 spirit stones. Instead, no one will even lend me 30. Selling something cheap turns out to be the hardest business in the world. Hugo studies the book. Interesting. This sword intent is hidden quite deeply, I answer. Old man, you have a good eye. This is a treasure of swordsmanship. Only 300 spirit stones, Hugo demands. I have none, so I offer my wine instead. I'll trade this pot of daughter's red wine for this tattered book. Deal? The trade is sealed. Here you go. The system scans Hugo. Target character detected. Name, Hugo. Current status, meridian sealed. He is disguised as a mortal. The system reveals his true aptitude. 9 Tribulations Sword Saint. That old geezer traded wine for my tattered book. He's a shrewd businessman. I call after him, old man, please wait a moment. I stop him with a proposal. Let's chat about life ideals and work. Then I flatter him. You have extraordinary talent and a unique bearing. You're 1 in a million. My invitation is direct. I sincerely invite you to join my nameless sword sect. Hugo refuses twice. No way. No way. His legs, he claims, aren't strong enough for work. I picture my sword saint breaking through and sending feedback straight to heaven. Even kneeling, I'll sign this contract today. Hugo notices my weakness. Old man, I see you enjoy a drink. The offer comes at the perfect moment. Perfect timing. Our sect provides wine, and plenty of food every day. I offer the easiest post in the sect, supervisor of the cleaning department, just sweeping the floor, with food, lodging, and wine included. Hugo repeats, sweeping the floor and wine included? I ask, all right? He calls me a good kid. I answer, I'll give you face. The system confirms the hire. Congratulations, host. Successfully recruited Hugo. Position, cleaning department supervisor. I refuse to lose the bargain. No, broken book. Here's your sword intent. The old man dislikes the book, but this kid may prove useful. Now that I have a sword saint, my nameless sword sect will upgrade. I only need his feedback to take off. I look for my new powerhouse. System, where's the sword saint I recruited? Still nothing. Where's my feedback? The system answers with a report. Employee Hugo, today's working hours, 0. Effective work output, 0. No effective work performed. No feedback triggered. Now I understand. Recruiting a sword saint isn't enough. He has to work for me before I grow stronger. The system changes the rules. From today onwards, performance appraisal is introduced. I assign Hugo a simple target. Supervisor Hugo, clean the entire sect inside and out. He protests. I can't clean it properly. My back hurts. I haven't finished speaking yet. After warning that failed assessments mean deducted pay and no drinking, I promise. I'll sweep every inch of the ground until I'm buried. Hugo groans. It's really tough on me for that one sip of wine. Hugo gives in. Let's get this over with quickly. Once it's clean, I'll go back and drink. The system verifies his yellow wine condition, validates the clean sect as labor, and distributes feedback. Boss points multiplied by 200. Finally, Hugo works for me, but this isn't sweeping, it's demolition. One sword strike sends the sweepers flying across the nameless sword sect. The distant observers recoil. Our sect is not to be trifled with. If even the sweepers are this terrifying, the nameless sword sect must hide dragons and crouching tigers. Its depths are unfathomable. A new applicant boasts of his pedigree. I possess a heavenly spiritual root and trained for 3 years at the Qingfeng sword sect, he adds. My swordsmanship has reached the mid-stage of swordsman. He looks down on our home. Your little sect is truly a waste of my talent. I hear the boast and stay practical. A heavenly spiritual root, is that all? All right. How much salary do you hope for? Are you willing to work overtime? Even if you're cultivating immortality, you still have to work overtime. A high aptitude means nothing without results. If he can't create value for the company, it is all for nothing. I need dependable workers, people who work hard, make money, and take responsibility. Another young man approaches the hiring table. Hey boss, I heard you're hiring with room and board included. After a pause, he adds, I'd also like to find a job. The system identifies him as Damien. He is the missing young master of the Wanbao Chamber of Commerce, with the qualifications of a god of wealth on sale. The discovery solves my debt problem. I was worried about repaying 3,000 spirit stones, and now the system has delivered a god of wealth. I study the newcomer and offer her a lucky break. Girl, you look like a lucky person. My sect just created a marketing department supervisor position, and I reserved it for you. She goes straight to the important question. Is there a commission for such a high-ranking position? Then she asks about the yearly reward. Is there a year-end bonus? Yes, there is a commission and a bonus, as long as you make money for the sect. The offer comes with one simple rule. The more you earn, the more you take. The deal is settled at once. Deal. Boss, you're so generous. I've signed. Damien explains his problem. I'm 3,000 in debt, and I'm counting on selling sword manuals and running training courses to pay it off. Then he challenges my plan. Boss, forgive my bluntness, but you're taking too small a step. I welcome the idea. Oh god of wealth, what brilliant idea do you have? He answers. The worst thing in business is selling cheaply. I listen as he continues. The first step to paying off debts isn't saving money or rushing to sell, but packaging our shabby sect as a prestigious sect that no one can afford. Damien's strategy is blunt and brilliant. Branding, price reductions, scarcity marketing. This isn't God of Wealth selling cheaply. It's clearly a buried marketing genius. I make the decision official. Well said, Manager Money. I hereby announce the launch of the Nameless Sword Sect brand upgrade project. The leaking hall becomes our first luxury product. This isn't a leaky hall, it's an open cultivation space where you can see the stars and bathe in the spiritual dew of heaven and earth, a harmony between heaven and man that many prestigious sects would covet. He rebrands every embarrassment as a feature. Those dilapidated dormitories are building caves close to nature. Having no resources is adversity tempering elite education. Leaky roofs are harmony between man and nature. Poverty is elite education. Somehow, his mouth turns decay into magic. Damien has spent years in business, and even he is impressed. I've been in the business world for years, and today I'm truly impressed. I sell the sect's hidden strength. My Nameless Sword Sect is full of hidden masters. Even the sweepers are peerless experts. Then the sales pitch begins. We're opening a special sword technique intensive course with only 30 spots. First come, first served. If you miss it, you'll have to wait another 10 years. The old stall had no customers. I've been selling sword manuals for 30 years, and nobody wants them, but the new packaging changes everything. This package course has become incredibly popular. Damien points to the lesson behind the sudden success. That's the power of branding. A customer examines one manual. What's written on this? The answer is hardly noble. If the enemy is strong, run. If the enemy is weak, pretend you can't beat them. Just lie down. The customer reaches the obvious conclusion. This is clearly a fighting manual for thugs. A challenger sees the crowded sect and sneers. What kind of crappy sect is this? He looks over the advertised course. What kind of unique sword technique? His verdict is immediate. It's clearly just a bunch of money-grabbing scum. After a short pause, he steps forward. I'd like to see what you guys are up to. Then he raises his sword. Can the shameful sword technique even withstand my sword strike? His strike lands, but the result shocks him. Impossible! A swordsman's blow fails to injure even a chi-refining cultivator. The defeated challenger finally understands. I understand now. He studies the manual differently. This sword manual didn't teach a single move of the pure sword technique. It taught the Tao. Then the lesson becomes clear. The highest level of swordsmanship is making your opponent unable to predict your next move. His conclusion is even more insulting. And the most unpredictable opponent is a shameless person. The first trick is simple and dishonest. First, you feign injury. Before the enemy's sword even touches you, you fall to the ground screaming and turn the tables. The second trick waits for the enemy to relax. Second, you play dead, wait for them to lower their guard, then launch a sneak attack. Finally, the manual reveals its trump card. And then there's this trump card, Heavenly Maiden scattering flowers, aiming at the eyes. The challenger can no longer deny the result. This kid has really grasped the soul of this sword technique. A new voice arrives, already condemning the class. I heard you opened a swordsmanship class, specializing in crooked and evil methods. The newcomer speaks for his sect. Today, my blood sword sect will come and meet you, rabble. The challenge collapses into panic. Let me go. The captured challenger protests. You have no martial ethics. If you have the guts, fight me fair and square. I answer his demand with the sect's real principle. Facing a sword head-on, honorably and fairly. That's how your sword masters play. Our side has no interest in that kind of honor. We rogue cultivators only care about one word, winning. The promotion succeeds beyond expectation. The line to sign up is 3 miles long. The crowd has given the course a new reputation. Our shameless sword technique is wildly popular. An official demands clarification. What's shameless sword technique? The name is corrected for the public. It should be called the Nameless Sword Sect's unique practical swordplay. Then the order comes down. Pay attention to brand image. I hereby order, the Nameless Sword Sect is banned. The ban expands across the region. Within the northern wilderness, anyone who dares practice or spread their swordplay will be considered an enemy of the Snow Sword Sect and killed without exception. The reaction is immediate. Oh my. The threat only gives my business more publicity. The young master of the Snow Sword Sect is personally advertising for me. I welcome the attention. I'll gladly accept this massive influx of traffic. The ban makes the technique sound irresistible, a swordplay that even the Snow Sword Sect fears. How powerful must it be? One listener has already made up his mind. I absolutely must steal a trick. Demand keeps spreading. Regular advanced training classes are full. The sect expands its offerings. We're now offering advanced swordplay classes, one-on-one private lessons, and classes for all major businesses. Even the escort agency gets a package. Corporate team-building training, clearly priced and fair to all, young and old. The month's accounts finally show what the new business achieved. The sect leader pays the drunken immortal medical hall its full 3,000 spirit stone debt and still clears more than 2,000 in profit. From penniless and alone to debt-free and profitable, the Nameless Sword sect survives its hardest startup period. The first real fortune belongs to the boss. The boss has earned his first pot of gold. The profits immediately raise a practical question. Should this money expand the sect or stock up on snacks? I shut that down. It's not up to you. The first payment has a purpose. The first payment is for salaries. Then I make a promise to everyone here. From now on, the Nameless Sword sect will never owe its employees a single penny in wages. I decide where the remaining profits go. Half will build an employee canteen on the back mountain, with wine and meat at every meal. The other half will build a medical clinic. No one here will need to borrow from that cruel medical hall again. From now on, anyone injured won't need to go to that black-hearted medical hall on credit. My humility is invincible, yet the Nameless Sword sect's protective formation is far more treacherous than I expected. A storm is brewing, but what is there to fear? None of my hidden masters has truly made a move yet. My banishment order has become a proclamation across all 3 continents. A messenger arrives with a deadly order. Elder, take your men and raze the Nameless Sword sect to the ground. The elder receives his mission. Bring back Warren and that girl's innate sword bone alive. Leave the rest alive. He scoffs at the sect. It's only a poor, dilapidated song sect. Why should I intervene personally? Then the warning comes. The sect leader says its mysterious protective sword lotus can even shatter his clones. Don't be careless. Handle it cleanly and efficiently this time. Don't fail again. A separate voice interrupts with a mundane request. Yes, register for the advanced class. This way. Register here. At the reception, a gatekeeper asks, "Fellow Taoist, have you made an appointment?" An attacker reports to his boss. At this rate, we'll take over the second residential area within a month. Then he faces the Nameless Sword sect. People of the Nameless Sword sect, listen up. Hand over Warren and that innate sword bone. The invader threatens, "I might spare your complete corpses." I answer from the sect's side, "I'm only a sword apprentice right now. I'm no match for you." The system warns me. An incoming fighter's acupoints are at the Sword King realm. His cultivation is far above mine. The system adds that the sect protecting formation has fewer than 1 activation left. This Sword King is weaker than the last Sword Venerable projection, but my sword intent has only 1 shot remaining. If this elder collapses, I'm finished. If the Blood Sword sect's main force attacks again, what can I use to defend us? That trump card beneath the bed cannot be revealed this early. One of the newcomers is a guest of the Blood Sword sect. Reception turns him away. Sorry, our sect requires advance reservations. The death-seeking sword is unusable. Facing this sword directly means I immediately go to see my master. At the entrance, a huge pile of ugly trash blocks the gate. Someone points toward it. Could you please clean it up? A newcomer sees the mess in broad daylight. Where did this trash come from? The answer is hesitant. Oh, that. My all-out sword strike is swept away by a broom. The motion looks casual, yet every thread of sword energy is perfectly balanced. It takes no effort. This old sweeper is unfathomable. The system confirms, employee Hugo has completed his duties. Cleaning the gate counts as valid labor. Work feedback is issued, and the reward is 300 boss points. We protected our trump card and gained free feedback. This is what turning a crisis into a KPI looks like. The attacker realizes the old sweeper is unfathomable, far beyond his power head-on. Yet the sect leader's order still stands. To capture the thief, we must first capture the person and seize the innate sword bone. After all, that sword bone belongs to my Blood Sword sect. Then imperial pressure floods the area. What kind of sword intent is this? How can a mere sword apprentice possess it? The commander rebukes Suowei. You can't even handle a lousy sect. He admits the truth. The sect leader was right. I had to make this trip myself. The commander senses the old sweeper's unfathomable aura. A head-on fight is forbidden. We need a quick battle. He gives the orders. Take the person and leave. Shu Wei, hold that old man back. The rest of you, follow me and seize the sword bone. The invaders taunt the old man. Later, your son Hung, old man, will drink sparingly. Then the threat grows. He can drink for 3 days. The old sweeper watches them throw away his offering. You just throw it away like that. His answer is immediate. Today, you'll pay this debt with your faces. The man before them is a peerless sword saint. The blood guards join forces against him. The system announces, employee Hugo has exceeded his job quota. The system records the cleanup as a major anomaly. Excellent performance is awarded, and work feedback is issued. Boss points multiply by 3,300. I spend 3,000 points on 2 Sword King elders and a pot of wine. Manager Hugo, you're not merely our floor sweeper, you're the sect's guardian deity. I make the obvious offer. Boss, you've done the work and fought the battle. Shouldn't I replenish your wine? Hugo demands, add another pot. Count it as overtime. It's a must. I promise him. Manager Hugo, I'll provide plenty of wine today, with every meal. News of the battle spreads. 2 Sword King elders fell in one move, defeated by an ordinary floor sweeper with astonishing swordsmanship. The opposing sect master decides to come personally. It seems I should visit the nameless sword sect myself. Where is the old sweeper who defeated my 2 elders yesterday? The nameless sword sect's leader receives him with a warning. Sect master, your arrival is an honor, but yesterday's fighter was truly only a lowly sweeper in my sect. Our foothold in the northern wilderness relies on far more than one sweeper. If you insist on disturbing our senior members in seclusion, consider the consequences carefully. Shui Wei laughs at my warning. A brat dares play tricks on me? Shuai raises his killing intent. Then let's see how many old monsters the nameless sword sect is hiding. One strike will erase your entire sect. Hugo finally answers, calm as ever. Since the boss treated me generously, I've gathered the aura of 9 sword saints for you. The strike lands. Shuai recoils in horror. You're the long extinct. His cry cuts the name short. That much damage from one wisp of remaining sword intent? At your peak, I couldn't resist at all. Hugo dismisses it. At my peak, fighting had already stopped mattering. Now I only want a quiet drink, to guard this sect, and to sweep its grounds. Hugo gives him the choice. Continue, or stop here. Leon reinforces our bluff. Sect master, I warned you. Disturbing our senior disciples in seclusion carries consequences worth considering. Now I challenge Eowei. So, does this senior meet your standards? Should I invite the other seniors out to chat? Shui's confidence cracks. One bloodthirsty sword saint is already disastrous. Worse, the young sect master sounds certain that more hidden masters remain. If that's true, he fears defeat here today. The nameless sword sect is far deeper than it appears. Shuai cannot fathom its true origin. Shuai glares across the nameless sword sect. I'll remember today's humiliation, but your feud with my blood sword sect ends nowhere near here. Especially you, remnant of the eternal sword emperor. He turns away. We have plenty of time. A chime announces the system's verdict. The sect repelled a sword venerable threat. Prestige increased. A new stage is unlocked. Candidate status among the northern wilderness's 8 major sects. Perfected swordmaster, the system adds. Another win. From start to finish, I only moved my lips. My powerful recruits handled everything and even intimidated the blood sword sect's master. That's peak leadership. I earn money lying down, then win the fight without lifting a finger. Hugo considers the sect that sheltered him. This lousy place has one virtue. It fiercely protects its own. Good. This old man isn't leaving yet. Alone, Hugo names his enemies. Blood Sword Sect, Shui Wuai. Wait until my shattered Dantian is completely restored. When that day comes, our blood feud ends. I began 3,000 spirit stones in debt. Now even sword venerables avoid me. The northern wilderness's 8 major sects can no longer contain the nameless sword sect's ambition. A shameless applicant begs, Sect Master, please accept me as your disciple. I endure hardship, withstand beatings, and even bring my own bedding. Such shamelessness makes a person nearly invincible. One concern remains. Are any high-class guests available? I'll pay triple the spirit stones. An intelligence report arrives. The nameless sword sect's elderly sweeper may be the northern wilderness's foremost sweeping sword saint, a title just for sweeping floors. The northern wilderness truly hasn't seen much. Outsiders only saw Hugo repel Suewei with one strike. I know his meridians remain sealed. That was merely his lingering sword intent. The blood sword sect's threat is far from over. The system offers a reminder. Your cultivation is only perfected swordmaster. Against a true sword venerable, keep smiling. You're remarkably good at comforting people. A visitor announces himself as a Northern Wilderness Alliance inspector. Greetings, Sectmaster. Inspector, perfect timing. Then I call, Leon, bring tea. Sectmaster, our best tea? Last time, we served the royal family hangover soup. That old fellow never finished it. Half a pot remains in the corner. The inspector refuses. No need. I've come solely for the Alliance's inspection. The nameless sword sect's prestige has earned attention, but he clarifies. Those 8 candidate positions aren't rewards. They're qualifications. To become a true candidate, a sect needs 3 things: a supreme treasure, its strongest combatant, and a record fearsome enough to intimidate the northern wilderness. Hugo, what are you doing? The broom isn't for sale. I improvise. Inspector, it has served the Sword Alliance for years, swept blood sword sect elders, and blocked a sword venerable. Doesn't that make it our supreme treasure? The system cuts in. The Alliance isn't stupid, boss. It's right. We have fame and revenue. The royal family keeps order for us. Yet to sit at the northern wilderness's table, we still need a real asset. Hype without substance will eventually make everything unstable. In 7 days, the forbidden Long Yuan sword sect opens within the northern wilderness. Legend says the ancient nameless sword sect's lost Long Yuan sword embryo lies buried deep inside. That treasure can bear an entire sect's fortune. If the nameless sword sect claims it, you'll fill the gap left by having no supreme treasure and truly qualify to compete for leadership. This opportunity isn't a reward, it's the sect alliance's first test. But the Blood Sword Sect, Crimson Sky Sword Sect, and Profound Thunder Sword Sect are entering the Long Yuan Sword Tomb too. The Northern Wilderness is sending every major power. This isn't a treasure hunt, it's the Nameless Sword Sect's first direct inspection of the tomb. The sect leader, Hugo, Damien, and the others gather together. Is this a general meeting or a business meeting? No, it's a project meeting. The Nameless Sword Sect officially launches its first major treasure hunt, acquiring the Long Yuan sword embryo. The warning is blunt. Sect leader Chu, if the Blood Sword Sect takes the Long Yuan sword embryo, your Nameless Sword Sect's candidacy ends here. The enemy list is already clear. Blood Sword Sect, Crimson Sky Sword Sect, Profound Thunder Sword Sect. Good. He wants the treasure as his ticket into the Northern Wilderness. Then I will personally snatch that ticket back for the Nameless Sword Sect. The Nameless Sword Sect's first major treasure hunt meeting officially begins. The plan has 5 goals. Enter the Dragon Abyss Sword Tomb, seize its sword embryo, refine it into the Nameless Sword Sect's treasure, earn Northern Wilderness candidacy, and slap the Shujian and Crimson Sky Sword Sects in the face. That includes everyone who looks down on us. Marcus's summary fits the sect's corporate culture perfectly. Warren leads the treasure hunting combat team. Leon will purify the sword evil and blood evil inside the sword. Hugo, let's be clear. You're responsible for sweeping, not fighting. I'm responsible for showing up, drinking normally, and frightening people when it matters. This job is reasonable. Damien takes intelligence, supplies, and cost control. Shen Qinghe handles medical rescue. The equipment supervisor handles tools and formations. The contract manager handles debts, merits, and risk clauses. After a pause, another order follows. You lead the D-rank disciples as a scouting team. The name scouting team sounds easy. It sounds like dying first. Who said you're cannon fodder? Your mission is reconnaissance, marking, warning, and immediate retreat when danger appears. It's not allowed to come back alive. It counts as merit if the sect leader comes back alive. The contract demands every protection before departure. I request the Sword Tomb mission terms: travel allowance, merit settlement, casualty compensation, war damage reimbursement, and medical priority. Successful hunters receive bonuses and battle merits, exchangeable for pills, weapons, and course slots. The sect leader also promises treatment, personal guidance, and pointers from Steward Huang. When did the old man agree to give pointers? Fieldwork drinks get unlimited reimbursement. For the sect's great cause, guiding the younger generation occasionally isn't so bad. The briefing turns grave. The Dragon Abyss sword embryo is tied to the ancient Nameless Sword Sect. If the Blood Sword Sect corrupts it, the embryo becomes a Blood Dragon sword embryo, a vessel for reviving the Blood Sword ancestor's remnant soul. Uncle Yiju told me we must obtain this sword embryo. If the Blood Sword Sect takes it from the Northern Wilderness, disaster follows. This isn't about money or pretending to be a master. This time, the Nameless Sword Sect must win. The system announces a sect-level treasure hunt. Target, Tichen Moing, Dragon Abyss sword embryo. Then the system delivers the risk. Mission lost. Defeat punishes the sect's candidacy qualification by sealing and freezing it. What a joke. My company, Chase, has finally reached the point of financing. Anyone who blocks my path to listing will lose their life. The Blood Sword Sect is furious after Hugo, a mere sweeper, injured one of them. The Nameless Swordmaster can no longer be allowed to live. Another voice takes the initiative. I will personally go to the Dragon Abyss sword tomb. Then comes the order. The sword embryo must not fall into Chase's hands. That's right. Once the Nameless Sword Sect obtains it, they will possess a sect-protecting treasure. They won't be a small sect famous only through rumors. They will qualify to stand at the Northern Wilderness table. The Blood Sword Sect has its own answer. If the Dragon Abyss sword embryo falls into our hands, we can corrupt it into the Bloodfall sword embryo. Then it can numb the Blood Sword ancestor's remnant soul. I understand. The plan is precise. First, seize the Dragon Abyss sword embryo. Second, seize the Sulu sword bone. Third, if possible, kill Warren and take his sword emperor remnant soul. That useless dog won't even reincarnate this time. The Nameless Sword Sect is coming for the same treasure. The Blood Sword Sect dismisses its rival. A broken sect relying on an old sweeper dares covet an ancient sword embryo? The team reaches the city, and Hugo spots its wine shops. This city isn't bad. There are quite a few wine shops. Hugo, we're here to seize treasures, not explore shops. Seizing treasures is one thing, but wine can't be delayed. Warren faces a taunt about his ruined Dantian and the Blood Sword Sect's pursuit. So you're Warren, the good-for-nothing they chased like a dog. The insult continues. When the young sect leader speaks, trash like you should lower your head and listen. Even trash the blood sword sect rejected can become a security supervisor in the nameless sword sect. Chase, your sect really isn't picky. Warren, don't be impulsive. In this situation, how can I not be impulsive? The clash already carries something sharper than ordinary sword intent. His dantian is destroyed. If that's trash, then what am I? In Qixiao's eyes, he's a cripple. The nameless sword sect answers with its own measure. In my sect, he can suppress a sword king with one strike. What gives you the right to judge him? Once we enter the sword tomb, talking alone won't keep you alive. Don't worry, our sect has professional security. The Qixiao sword sect's young master snaps. Stop bringing up the city gate incident. He sneers. A crippled Warren dares make our sect lose face? His order is clear. Enter Jancho first, destroy Warren, then seize the Dragon Abyss sword embryo. Don't let one member of the Wuming sword sect escape. Another voice warns. Without the Dragon Abyss sword spirit, you can only gamble outside the sword master's territory. Only a sword spirit opens the core sword hall, and there are very few. Rogue cultivators mutter, the major sects are watching us. How can we compete? Qixiao forcibly takes Surinlei's token, while the Snow Sword sect kills for another. His subordinate protests. Boss, this market is hostile. The reply is calm. The more chaotic it gets, the less we reveal. You few, enter first and test whether this sect token is genuine. A warning cuts in. It's a remnant formation. Sword energy will shred you. Enough nonsense. The challenger laughs. Issuing a Crimson Skysword sect token is a blessing earned over several lifetimes. The accusation lands hard. Treating cultivators as expendable is the bad habit passed from the Snow Sword sect to the Crimson Skysword sect. Then someone cries. Li Gusheng led people to steal the token. Sect master, it's the Crimson Skysword sect. The answer challenges them. Are you afraid to die? Good. Fear is useful. After a pause, the leader declares, those afraid of death know best how to survive. The Crimson Skysword sect's voice rings out. A bunch of rogue cultivators dares steal from us? Take the token and leave. The warning follows. Don't stay and die. Another voice insists. They earned it themselves. Then the threat hardens. One more step, and my sword severs a person. The onlookers stare. The first disciple of the nameless sword sect actually snatched the token from the Crimson Skysword sect. The real shock is the method. Strength is one thing, but even low-level rogue cultivators became pawns in Chase's hands. The strategist sees the deeper danger. This sect's trouble isn't Hugo. It's that everyone can be used. At a spirit stall, someone tells the girl, these are useless spirits. Their energy is nearly gone. Then comes the question, what do you need them for? She answers, I'm picky. I don't buy expensive things, only things I can profit from. Then she calls out, bundled deal, cheap. A sect member objects, sect master, these aren't junk. She fits the tokens together. Together they form a hidden entrance map. A hidden entrance is concealed in these useless tokens. See, this is bargain hunting. The best opportunities hide where others look away. The boss couldn't have known this long ago, right? The boss admits, I'm a fool, but even if I didn't know, I have to pretend. Meanwhile, the sect-level treasure hunt is entering its core stage. The boss's domination seal is about to activate. At the crucial moment, the host can seize control. The formal employee's power condenses, and the sect's Dharma image manifests before everyone. Flames roar. Someone cries, has the ancient nameless lord returned? Then the announcement lands. This is the Dragon Abyss Sword Dynasty. One cultivator hasn't even entered yet, but his sword is already nearly kneeling. The Dragon Abyss sword embryo lies in the deepest region. The crowd hears the stakes. Whoever takes it may protect their sect. Then the gates begin to open. Inside the Sword Dynasty, opportunity belongs to whoever claims it, and life or death is your responsibility. The Alliance will only record ownership. The coming struggle among Chase, Warren, and Leon will be settled inside the sword. A rival remembers the city gate. I've remembered that sword strike. Inside the sword sphere, I'll make you kneel and repay it. The commander calls out, listen carefully, listen carefully. The warning is for every disciple. We're not here for tourism or popularity. The mission has one objective. We only want the Dragon Abyss sword embryo. Without it, our sect cannot qualify for a reserve position. The speaker explains, only by obtaining the nameless sword sect's true treasure can we sit among the major sects of the northern wilderness. The low-ranking disciples get their orders. Fight if you can, mark targets if you can't, then retreat. Your scouts, suppliers, and battle records, not cannon fodder. Bring them all. Every contribution will be counted. The same briefing continues. Contributors will be reimbursed, and the injured will go straight through the green channel to the head of Chen Hall. The promise is absolute. As long as they still breathe, save them first, settle the accounts afterward. The contract takes effect. Casualties, battle losses, and contribution bonuses will follow its terms. Even the old man's liquor reimbursement is covered. Don't treat the building like a wine cellar. The final order comes. We must enter the Dragon Abyss Sword Tomb and claim our share. The Chixiao Sword Sect charges in under the Western Yuan Dynasty's banner. Snow Sword Sect, don't rush ahead. Behind them comes the order. Proceed according to the project plan. A rival scoffs. Are you queuing for treasure? Is the Nameless Sword Sect here for a spring outing? The mockery spreads. If they enter that slowly, they won't get even a sip of soup. The formation advances. Rushing in is cannon fodder. Organized movement is how experts fight, but greed wins. The opportunity is right there. Whoever grabs it first gets it. Someone lunges. It's mine. Then the sword energy erupts out of control. The first level's sword aura tears through the advance. Sect Master, even the first level is this vicious. Everyone, stop and form a defensive formation. Stop him. A cultivator turns on his allies. The sword aura corrupted him. My sword energy is out of control. Save me. Use aura talismans to clear the way. A blood sword sect expert scoffs. Mere sword aura can't block our path. Sect Master, they have talismans and blood aura. What do we have? Our lives. We should arrange our affairs first. Marcus, this isn't the time to worry about funeral costs. Sect Master, I can't suppress the sword energy anymore. Don't force it. Fall back. The rivals jeer at our struggling formation. They couldn't withstand the first level, yet they came for the Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo. From across the battlefield, rivals sneer. The Nameless Sword Sect is all talk. What a joke. Leon steps forward. Careful, Warren. Let me handle this. Still not enough. Swordbone, awaken. The awakened power washes across the formation. My sword energy has stabilized. A rescued disciple cries, Leon, you're incredible. Thank you for saving my life. Another cultivator wonders, what kind of sword bone is that? It can evolve into the Dragon Abyss Sword Demon's Innate Immaculate Sword Bone. That's the legendary Innate Immaculate Sword Bone. What a sword bone! A rival realizes, the Nameless Sword Sect was hiding such a genius. A system voice confirms, target confirmed, Leon's sword bone has awakened. The bone-stealing plan can proceed, Leon answers. I'll protect everyone in the Nameless Sword Sect. At last I can boast. Our receptionist is finally more than a receptionist. From now on, anyone claiming my sect only relies on men will have to answer to me. An enemy formation locks onto Leon. This is the Collarbone Formation. The innate Immaculate Sword Bone belongs to our Blood Sword Sect. Leon refuses to yield. Touch my sword bone, and you're courting death. Another rival threatens him. Leon, your sword bone will belong to our Snow Sword Sect eventually. Not possession, just a marker placed on Leon. The Blood Sword Sect is targeting Leon, so I mark them as our top problem. Beyond that clash, the forest turns eerier. The Misty Sword Forest is a maze of formations, filled with broken sword armor and phantom deer. Worse, stronger cultivators are more easily deceived by its concentrated sword intent. What kind of illusion formation is this? My Crimson Skysword Sect can shatter it with one strike. What's happening? Wasn't I just charging forward? The sword spirit fights back. Keep pushing. Who dares retreat? Sect Master, perhaps Warren should clear the way? No. The more dangerous the place, the less we can let experts force through. A scout falters. Sect Master, is it too late to transfer into logistics? Yes, it's not too late. Logistics can defend the formation too. When it breaks, the last person can run. The new scout vows, I'll complete the mission. His advance looks ridiculous. You call this exploration? It's like dog paddling. The scout stops us. The road ahead is false. How can you tell? Sword marks point inward, but the wind blows out. A real path wouldn't feel this wrong. A disciple narrowly escapes. I was almost sliced apart. It's minor. Don't panic. Sect rules count this as a field injury, so you'll get a subsidy back home. The wounded disciple marvels. In other sects, an injury like this would only earn abuse for being useless. Watching our low-level cultivators advance, Chixiao fumes. How can a pack of weak rogue cultivators walk more steadily than me? Other sects use their lowest-ranked disciples as scouting fodder. In the Nameless Sword Sect, even they can make real contributions. That's the sect's truly frightening strength. It doesn't merely gather experts, it makes its weakest members valuable. We reach Swordheart Hall. The Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo's aura waits inside. Chixiao immediately claims our discovery. Thank you, Sect Master, for scouting the Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo for me. So this young Sect Master plans to steal my work. Fine, but does a last-minute swordsman like you even recognize what's inside this hall? Chixiao identifies the treasure. This is the Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo, capable of bearing an entire sect's fortune. It truly is extraordinary. The Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo belongs to my Crimson Sky Holy Sect. The relic rejects him. The prosperous Fortune Sword Embryo refused the Crimson Sky Young Master. Impossible! My Crimson Sky Sword Sect has endured for millennia. Why won't it recognize me? Maybe it's simply picky. Something is wrong. The blood fiend array is polluting the heavenly embryo, trying to refine the dragon abyss sword embryo into a blood spirit sword embryo. 9 Dust crossing stream. Understood. Leave the array to us. The sword intent is unmistakable. The sword emperor's immaculate sword bone. Together, they actually suppress the blood fiend array. The nameless sword sect's strength isn't just the old sweeper. These 2 young men are frighteningly powerful too. One shakes the sword embryo while the other purifies the blood fiend. Their abilities fit perfectly. He came for the Dragon Abyss sword embryo. Is the Dragon Abyss sword embryo going to acknowledge him as its master? It didn't acknowledge me. It didn't acknowledge me at all. So it isn't waiting for one sword cultivator. It seems to be waiting for an entire sect that can support it. Warren challenges Chase in front of everyone. Chase, your nameless sword sect has capable fighters, but will you keep hiding behind them? He recalls their first meeting, when even lower-ranking disciples scouted ahead for Chase. As sect leader, have you personally acted even once since founding the sect? Here comes the challenge. The boss fears one thing most, being forced to personally report the sect-level treasure hunt's final stage. Should we activate it? The boss's command seal leaves no escape. Since everyone wants to see their sect leader act, I give them exactly that. Then look closely. This is a sect's Dharma image. The display sounds impressive, but the boss's points are falling far too fast. I ask the system, is this a unifying seal or a money-burning seal? The system activates the boss unifying seal. Host, preserve your sect leader's dignity. Don't let your heartache over the points show. My greatest dignity right now is not crying on the spot. The observers realize Chase is using the old man's advice to save face again. One voice admits, I have a part in this too. Then the sect's creed rings out. In my nameless sword sect, even fear of death can become a path. The entire sect's power answers Chase's command. This isn't borrowed power. Everyone's path is merging into one sect. Impossible, the onlookers finally understand. You're not merely using employees to save face. You can actually unify all their power. Chase declares, my nameless sword sect doesn't seek sole supremacy. We only seek the great sword's return to its sect. The Dragon Abyss sword embryo hears a princess claim, I am the young princess of the Crimson Sky Sword sect. You should acknowledge me. But the embryo acknowledges neither Chase nor any single person. It acknowledges the nameless sword sect. In other words, it acknowledges every one of us. At last, the sect has a treasure worthy of presenting. It looks impressive, but becoming a triple threat may require me to pretend to collapse from the cost. The observers see that Chase is more than merely stubborn. The system confirms the stage objective is complete. The Dragon Abyss sword embryo has acknowledged the nameless sword sect, establishing the prototype of its sect treasure. But removing the sword embryo will make the sword heart hall collapse. The Dragon Abyss sword embryo awakens. To cultivate it, the sect needs the 7-star sword palace, the Starfall sword, and the Fire Starfall sword. The treasure is only half finished. Everyone, evacuate! The route out of the sword nest leads through the 7-star sword palace, the Starfall sword, and the fire path. The next target is clear. Retreat along the original route. The reconnaissance team leads, the wounded stay in the middle, and Warren guards the rear. This side is safe. Don't step on the red array nails. That side will collapse. Tom, stay calm. Recycle what you can. This is all cost. Someone protests. Supervisor Tian's life is almost over. And you're still counting that? Tom answers, that's exactly when we can't waste money. While everyone else flees for their lives, the nameless sword sect keeps recycling supplies. Their escape even looks rehearsed. The Dragon Abyss sword embryo truly has been seized by the nameless sword sect. It can carry the fortune of an entire sect. Stop looking. If you look again, I won't escape a second time. The earlier attack from Tong Yuyan nearly burned me to a crisp. The little brat's legs are still shaking. That trembling is only the aftershock of the sect leader's Dharma form. That's really tough. The Blood Sword sect's swordsmen are pursuing the Dragon Abyss sword embryo. A Blood Sword sect swordsman demands, Chase, hand over the Dragon Abyss sword embryo, and we may spare your nameless sword sect a few words of complete corpse. Chase fires back. Why do Blood Sword sect members all talk like they trained from the same script? You start with complete corpse. No originality at all. The Bloodlock is suppressing the sword embryo. Chase refuses to surrender. If you want to seize it, ask my sword first. The opposing swordsman stares at me. His cultivation is clearly low. How can his sword intent be so terrifying? That answer arrives when my innate immaculate sword bone breaks the Bloodlock. A swordsman blocks the path. Trash, fall down. Warren cuts one enemy down while Leon breaks the Bloodlock. The old man sweeps his stick through the formation, knocking swordsmen aside. Across the battlefield, the sect leader directs the chaos. Baojie keeps the records. Damien tallies losses. Shen Qinghe treats the wounded, and Tom checks every piece of equipment. The record keeper counts the D-ranked disciples. Warren kills another sword wielder and earns major battle merit. Leon breaks the blood rope and earns the same. The supervisor clears abnormal targets, logs overtime, then doubles his alcohol and drinks. Sect Master, I only sent messages and escorted the wounded. Does that count as merit? Of course it does. Bringing people back alive from the battlefield is merit. After battle, this sect neither steals credit nor shifts blame. Every account is settled on the spot. An outsider studies the battered sect. What kind of sect is this nameless sword sect? The outsider carries that warning home. Tell the sect master we can no longer treat the nameless sword sect as ordinary. The rival sect dismisses our prize. The Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo is only an embryo. Without the 7-star sword demon Starfall Sword Fire, it will never become a true sect protecting divine sword. The threat turns toward me. Chase, I'll see how long you can protect it. Our treasure is held up for everyone to see. This is the nameless sword sect's most precious treasure. Our people answer the doubters. Who dares say we have no foundation now? With the sect protecting treasure secured, our candidacy is certain. Even the observers admit the change. The nameless sword sect, this startup, finally has a core asset. The congratulations barely begin before a warning arrives. Sect leader Chu, you're celebrating too soon. The sect alliance has come to confirm ownership of the Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo. I face the inspectors. Confirm it. The sword embryo is right here. No hiding, no collateral, no installments. Then I turn to Damien. Marcus, take back that dangerous look. The nameless sword sect presents its claim. The Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo has recognized our sect. So what if it recognizes the sect? It's still only an embryo, not a true sect protecting divine sword. That's right, it hasn't been refined. The objections grow sharper. Calling an undeveloped embryo the sect's greatest treasure is frivolous. The nameless sword sect has a resounding reputation, but its true foundation is questionable. Even the private assessment is measured. They're envious, but they're not entirely wrong. The Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo still hasn't been truly forged. The critics identify the weakness. They snatched it, but it's still a work in progress. Then the comparison shifts to business. What does the capital market fear most? It fears the core product is still under development. The surrounding sect's doubts are understandable. The missing ingredient is clear. To become a genuine divine sword, the Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo must be tempered with the 7-star Sword Palace's Starfall Sword Fire. The 7-star Sword Palace opens in 1 month, drawing geniuses from every sect in the northern wilderness. One condition decides everything. Whoever obtains the Starfall Sword Fire can truly forge the Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo. The warning returns to me. Sect Master Chu, temporary recognition doesn't mean you can keep it. If the nameless sword sect can defend it, no one at the 7-star Sword Palace will go easy on you. I answer without yielding. From the first day of our founding, the nameless sword sect has never relied on others to let us participate in. The 7-star Sword Palace. The arena is explained. It differs from the Dragon Abyss Sword Palace, and is where northern wilderness geniuses truly compete. The Snow Sword Sect, Crimson Sky Sword Sect, and Profound Thunder Sword Sect will all attend. That challenge suits me perfectly. We seized the Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo, and now we want the Starfall Sword Fire too. The sect's campaign expands. Recalculate the 7-star Sword Palace budget. Pills, prisoners, equipment, intelligence. Prepare double everything, not triple. My promise reaches the enemy. Blood Sword Sect, Blood Power, 7-star Sword Palace. I'll be waiting. The old wound still burns. Next time, I won't let the Blood Sword Sect mark my sword bones so easily. Our lesson is brutally practical. If you can't beat them, hide. If you can't hide, roll away. The sect's core tactic is survival with damage. Senior Brother Lee, what is this move called? The answer comes immediately. Tactical immortality. It sounds awful, but it fits our sect's spirit. I ask, what does an advisor do? The old man answers, intimidate people while drinking. After watching him, I admit, the old man is good at this. The system announces a new stage mission, 7-star sword technique. Its objective is direct. Seize the meteorite sword fire and refine the Dragon Abyss sword embryo. The system confirms completion. 7-star sword technique, meteorite sword fire. Our rule is simple. Anyone blocking the nameless sword sect's sword practice is at a disadvantage. Blood must be clear. Sophie begins her shattered pill nourishing sword technique, using a ruined chamber as a furnace to restore her natal sword intent. As the sword intent stabilizes, I feel more secure as the boss. Employee growth is the company's strongest moat. Leon strains against the technique. Leon, if you can't hold on, stop immediately. Pain won't stop the blood sword sect. Next time they use Blood Fiend to lock my sword bone, it won't be so easy. A purification succeeds. Very good. The front desk can receive customers and purify them now. Then comes the warning. The 7-star sword attack is a major competition. We can't act recklessly. So our close-range tricks need official names. We have to legalize every move we used before. Throwing sand becomes respectable terminology. Creating tactical vision gaps, clinging to a strong opponent, restricting movement, feigning death, or inducing a misjudgment. The rules leave room. Poison, hidden weapons, and evil arts are forbidden. But one loophole remains. Tactical slipping while low on health is temporarily legal. I hear the truth beneath the new language. We're upgrading shameless sword techniques into compliant sword techniques. The reply is immediate. It sounds even more shameless, but more professional. Equipment planning follows. High-level magic weapons can't be mass-produced. Low-level disciples need gear they can afford, use, and repair. The principle is clear. Good equipment doesn't have to be expensive, but it must be life-saving. Shen Qinghie sets the medical rules. Anyone with unhealed meridian injuries cannot participate. Unstable spiritual power means meditation first. Injuries aren't bravery, they burden the medical hall. I answer her challenge. Hallmaster Shen, I can still fight. You can fight too, but I'll knock you unconscious first, so you can meditate. The palace's analyst sees a way to profit. Boss, everyone thinks 7-Star Sword Palace will lose the fire. If we auction Nameless Sword Sect now, we can bet on ourselves and make a fortune. The boss asks, why can't sect disciples gamble with their lives? This isn't gambling, it's a financial instrument. No, good Hallmaster Su, good. The money manager now has one job, make money. Leon is assigned to stop that profit-making from becoming unethical. The company's governance structure is slowly becoming healthier. The system warns me, the boss's overall seal is still unstable. Activating it forcibly could overdraw your spiritual power, shake your soul, and cause a public coma. I understand the first 2 warnings, but the last one is just meant to scare me. For your personality, public coma would be the greatest blow. You really understand the boss's pain points, the system adds. Improving the seal requires genuine employee loyalty and more sect battle merits, so pretending to be a god is not enough. I have to lead the sect to real victories. The stronger we become, the more they trust me, and the steadier my seal grows. The technique ignites. 7-Star Sword Technique, Star-Seizing Meteor Sword, and the Fire-Refining Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo. I face the coming battle with certainty. Nameless Sword Sect will definitely win. Zhu Ying recognizes us. That's the Nameless Sword Sect that stole the Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo. Across the gathering, someone announces, I heard they came for the Starfall Sword Fire this time. Warren points his challenge at me. Warren, this time I'll beat you back to trash. The system responds, you can try the Lucky Sword Fire Dragon Abyss Punishment. A new project launches. 7-Star Sword Palace presents several trials. To seize the Star Domain Sword Fire, contestants must first earn the Star Palace's approval. The rules are severe. Losers will be eliminated immediately. Anyone forcing their way through bears responsibility for their own life. After a pause, the crowd repeats. They are the Nameless Sword Sect that stole the Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo. One challenger wants proof. I want to see whether they can create another miracle. A rival dismisses the claim. Miracles from 7-Star Sword skill require true talent, not old sweepers putting on a show. The rival continues his attack. Sect Master Chu, 7-Star Sword skill cannot compare with the Dragon Abyss Sword platform. The first level here filters out plenty of mediocre trash. I hear the insult and wonder. The sect master said trash. Why did he look at me so confidently? A companion corrects me. He was looking at you, sect master. I fire back. Your way of comforting me is deadly. Then the announcement comes. The nebula sword fire is inside. Another warning follows. Whether the Dragon Abyss sword platform becomes a true sword depends on this round. The first trial is announced. Talent Stone Tablet. The deeper the contestant's sword mark, the greater their talent. Those recognized by the tablet may enter. The next trial follows. Crimson Sky Fire Spirit Root. Superior sword posture may enter. The rules add, second round, Profound Thunder Sword Body. Superior sword posture may enter. Then the examiner calls, second round, it's your turn. A rival taunts me. Sect Master Chu, you wouldn't send the sweeper into the first round, would you? The old sweeper answers plainly, I am only here to consult, not take the examination. The examiner calls out, Li Gosheng, you're last. The crowd laughs. He's only a low-level disciple from a rogue cultivator background. He dares test his talent. Does Nameless Sword Sect have no one else? Someone jeers, sending a coward to embarrass us. Li Gosheng answers, Sect Master, if I embarrass myself, can't that count as a subsidy? After a beat, he adds, if passing counts as battle merit, I'll give it a try. His mark barely appears. The crowd mocks it. This is called a sword mark? Even a mosquito would strike deeper. A rival challenges me. Sect Leader Chu, is this the genius of Nameless Sword Sect? The tablet reveals a second result. How can there be a second level of talent? The answer appears, ordinary aptitude, extremely strong survival skills. He may enter the second level. Li Gusheng celebrates. I passed. Senior brother Li passed. The crowd turns survival into another joke. Even fear can pass. That's extremely strong survival instinct. Someone answers, talent isn't the only measure. Living a long time is also a kind of talent. The result changes the lesson. Ordinary aptitude does not necessarily mean there is no path forward. A rival threatens. Living a long time depends on whether I let you live. The trial announces the next danger. Blood Demon Valley is extremely dangerous, but it can enter the second level. Warren receives his next trial. Warren, second trial, the Heart Bridge. Contestants must cross the Heart Bridge to reach the far side. Anyone who falls is eliminated. The bridge's edge carries one danger. It suppresses spiritual power. A rival scoffs. A mere sword edge? It thinks it can stop my Crimson Sky Sword sect? Let's see who reaches the other side first. Another challenger dismisses the problem. Only the weak need to find a way. Sophie crosses with ease. Someone marvels. As expected of Sophie, the Star Bridge's sword edge cannot stop her at all. The spectators look toward my group. Those low-level Dao disciples from Nameless Sword Sect probably won't cross. Li Gusheng stares down at the narrow bridge. Senior brother Li, this bridge is so narrow. The clouds below are so deep. If I fall, does that count as a work-related injury? The reply is grim. Elimination is not a fall injury. If you're dead, that's another matter. Then someone warns, Manager Chen, don't break the accounts at a time like this. A rival mocks my group. Chase, did you bring these low-level disciples here to add to 7-Star Sword Palace's jokes? The criticism continues. They don't even dare cross the bridge, yet they want to seize the star-passing sword fire. I remind the disciples, do you remember the pre-competition training? Do you remember what the rules required? The rule only requires crossing the star bridge, not walking upright, on a flying sword, or with dignity. Got it, brothers. Don't be reckless. Press the most stable button. One disciple has already chosen the safest method, lying flat. I call out, don't stand still. Lower your center of gravity for stability. Move along the side, and wait for the sword edge to pass. The spectators recoil. This is too ugly, but the result surprises them. They really weren't blown down. Damn it, the sword edge grows stronger farther back. The third wave comes from the left. Everyone, keep right. Don't get reckless, or you'll die. Understood? Don't get reckless. Save your life. After a short silence, the crude trial reveals the Nameless Sword Sect's practical spirit. The tactics work. Let's call it the low-posture star bridge passing method. The method is already being treated like a product. We could package it as a paid course. Don't sell it yet. It'll damage the brand. What a shameless bunch. The trial judges results, not posture. Young Master Xiao's stance looks good, but it earns no extra points. I passed. I'm alive. The announcement follows. The Nameless Sword Sect's second level is cleared. They aren't powerful, but they're resourceful. Why are these ordinary Nameless Sword Sect disciples so hard to eliminate? The high-pressure trial ends with ordinary disciples passing, strengthening the sect's cohesion and slightly stabilizing its leader. Even ordinary disciples can strengthen the sect by passing. Very good. The employees' work and the disciples' training both pay off, but resourcefulness alone cannot guarantee victory. The third stage begins. The Star Arena's Eastgate melee. We just survived, and now there's another melee. Orders go out to follow the pre-match tactical system. This is a real scene boundary. The third stage is a sect melee, with disciples from different sects competing against one another. A larger, more complete faction earns the higher score. Crimson Cloud disciples, charge with me. The battle plan is ruthless. Crush weak sects first, then surround the strong. The weak retreat, the strong clear the way. The young merchant's side is already breaking. Young master, we can't hold them off. The answer is desperate but firm. If we can't hold them off, we'll fight with our lives. The rival sects use their own people as expendable troops. They actually use their own people as cannon fodder. The Nameless Sword Sect answers with coordination instead. They fight with cannon fodder. We fight with a system. Its disciples deploy exactly as planned. Warren leads the frontal charge. Leon purifies the core while guarding the central formation. The scout handles reconnaissance. The ordinary disciples move in groups of 3, protecting one another. No one may chase an enemy alone. Did you hear me? Form groups of 3. Anyone separated loses battle merits. Shen Qinghe establishes a temporary medical point. Tom adapts to the changing rules, while Damien distributes supplies and coordinates the teams. Mind stones, pills, and talismans come out, with nothing wasted. If you have the nerve, fight us head-on. We can wear you down. Why fight head-on? The Nameless Sword Sect's individual disciples are weak, yet the enemy is beginning to notice their strength as a group. Their individual disciples aren't strong, so why are they becoming steadier as the fight continues? This isn't a duel. It's a small sect war. The strong charge, and the weak follow. That is the traditional style. But Chase makes sure every disciple gets a chance to use their skills. How is this possible? My Chixiao disciples clearly have higher cultivation. The answer is blunt. Higher cultivation doesn't make a sect stronger. The Nameless Sword Sect's defensive formation draws attention. Their tortoise formation is quite interesting. But even a stable formation collapses if its core breaks. Leon, your sword bone is mine. The Blood Immortal Hall will take it. Sophie, defend the formation's center. Warren, come to the rescue. After a tense pause, Sophie faces him again. This time, I won't be afraid of you anymore. Your flawless innate sword bone belongs to the Snow Sword Sect. Sophie answers the challenge. You're courting death. Warren, you can't get past me. Get out of my way. Senior Sister Do, his sword bone is suppressed, the observer adds. Sophie is targeting him specifically. The Watcher warns, don't move yet, that girl will suffer. Then comes the reply, I know Leon can't always be the one being protected. The Blood Sword sect wants Leon's sword bone, but victory depends on more than the blood spirit. Leon must overcome the fear that everything he has can be taken away. Leon, do you think joining the Nameless Sword sect will change anything? Innate sword bones belong to the strong. Someone like you deserves to be only a vessel for sword bones. The answer cuts through that belief. Mystic arts aren't sacrifices. Your sword bone isn't your entire value. Leon finally declares, I don't need protection anymore. What? Leon rejects their claim outright. My sword bone isn't the Blood Sword sect's property. You're crazy. The Blood Sword sect answers with a warning. Releasing your sword bone yourself will only make it easier for me to take. Impossible. Blood bone nails specifically counter innate sword bones. How can you purify it? Leon's answer is simple. Because I'm not afraid of him anymore, Sophie. Forced back head-on by Leon, Sophie reveals unexpected strength as a Nameless Sword sect disciple. You can wield a sword by yourself now. Leon claims his power. My sword bone has never belonged to anyone. It belongs only to my Nameless Sword sect. Senior Sister Sue, you're amazing. The battle inspires a recruitment slogan for the Immaculate Sword Hall. After this battle, I've even thought of one. Another voice approves. At last, this receptionist has become the face of the business. Well done, Nameless Sword sect. The celebration ends when Leon notices danger. Leon, something's wrong with that thing. The enemy answers, since you like struggling so much, I'll show you the Snow Sword sect's true trump card. The new formation presses down on Leon's sword bone. You, Warren, and Leon really think the Blood Sword sect came unprepared? The Blood Sword formation is incomplete, yet it suppresses the Sword Emperor's memories and the Immaculate Sword Bone sect master. What do we do? This cannot be solved by surrender. Don't rush in recklessly. The blood array relies on nodes. Find the array eye first. It burns blood energy instead of spirit stones. Those Blood Sword sect lunatics treat human lives like fuel. Warren, didn't you want revenge? Do you know where the Warren family's remains ended up? What did you say? The Blood Sword sect reveals the truth. The entire Warren family was refined into the Blood Sword pool. Your parents' bones and your clansmen's blood became fertilizer for our swords. Brother Warren, his world is in chaos. Go mad. Go crazy. If you lose control, this blood array will devour your Sword Emperor remnant soul. Revenge matters, but staying alive matters more. The warning is blunt. The company is training you, not sending you to your death. If I lose control, I play right into his hands. Hatred can sharpen a sword, but it cannot rule me. Swordmaster Sherry, you want to see me go crazy? Too bad you're not worthy. You can actually suppress your inner demons. Warren reaches the formation's breaking point. Even the security supervisor holds back, waiting for the right moment instead of charging at the first shout. A voice enters the struggle. I'm here to help you. You can't possibly be like this. You should be consumed by hatred, so why are you so calm? Because I'm not only the Warren family's orphan, I'm also the security chief of the Nameless Sword sect. A startled cry breaks out. Warren, you wait. Deep inside the 7-star Sword Palace lies what you wanted in your past life. If you dare come, I'll be waiting. The system detects an employee, then confirms Warren has broken through the inner demon suppression. The system reports improved Sword Dao comprehension, host feedback, and settling progress. Boss 2 re-instability improves slightly. The employee can fight and upgrade the boss at once. The system recognizes the pattern. This wave of blood energy isn't here to kill, it's here to give away training experience. The third level ends. The Nameless Sword sect has the most complete faction, ranking first. That's the aura of the Nebula Swordfire, Sophie calls. I'll go. Sophie identifies the prize, the heartfelt sword fire. This fire can refine the Dragon Abyss sword embryo. The target finally appears. As long as we get this ball of fire, the Dragon Abyss sword embryo can truly become a sword. The prize is even greater. The Nameless Sword sect's protecting divine sword will become the Meteor Sword Fire. Another sect claims, it's my Profound Thunder Sword sect's. Stop the Nameless Sword sect and follow the plan. Warren, Leon, clear the way. Li Gusheng breaks through the outer perimeter. The assignments come fast. Tom, stabilize the star platform Chia Ray. Shen Qinghe, suppress the fire poison. Bai Jiyao, break the restriction. Damien, watch the resource flow. Anyone blocking the way will die. The warning follows. Fire poison corrodes the meridians. Don't withstand it head-on. 3 to a group, hold them off. Don't play hero. The order becomes official. Anyone who rushes up alone will lose battle merits on behalf of the sect leader. Why are the Nameless Sword sect people so annoying? That is also part of our tactical value. The star platform's iron gate is chaos. If I don't stabilize it during my internship, the starfire will explode. I'll suppress the fire poison. You focus on cultivating the array. The restriction has 3 layers: sword energy, sect fortune, and the sect leader. What does that mean? The answer is decisive. Only the leader of another sect can collect the Starfall sword fire. No disciple, no matter how strong, can replace the sect leader. The core node demands the boss personally. The 5-element sword sect really wants that starfire. An opponent taunts Chase. You're making your employees risk their lives again. They seized the Dragon Abyss sword embryo, and they snatched the Starfall sword fire too. The challenge reaches the sect leader. Does the Lord dare step onto the star platform himself? Should we curse back? The assessment is grim. The boss taking the stage is extremely risky. The Starfire seizure enters its final stage. Should we activate the boss's command seal's second form? Sect Master Lin Tai, who says the boss only gives orders. I step forward. Today, I'll show you what it means for the project leader to inspect the results personally. Sect Master, come on. Longyuan City's construction is missing only this one fire. This is no ordinary acceptance. The boss must stand at the explosion center to sign the acceptance document, the second form of the boss's command seal. Sect Master, the altar is activating. I'm opening a line for you. The danger appears immediately. There's fire poison in the starfire. Sect Master, don't try to tough it out. Don't let the old man's wine money go to waste. The warning follows. You're not completely stable yet. Don't let your inner fire run rampant. I force myself onward. I'm here to ask Chiwen. This is all money. The investment still has to pay back, but this investment must be recouped. The star platform accepts the rules. The sect master accepts the starfire, and the nameless sword sect becomes the affiliation. The contract is established. Collect the fire, protect the meridians, keep it burning, and do not show off. This blessing sounds ominous, but it perfectly matches our sect's style. Impossible! He's unifying the entire sect. What kind of Tao does Chase cultivate? I cultivate no single person's Tao. The starfire returns to the sect. Chase has truly collected it. How can a small sect's sect master make the star platform acknowledge the nameless sword sect? This isn't a small sect. It has a great sect's grandeur. The sect master protected all our power. My body heat can melt into the Dragon Abyss sword. Even in the womb, my luck can train me in swordsmanship. The boy looks more like a sect leader every day. A sect leader's path isn't one person's path. Even if I'm handsome for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, silence. My legs move so fast I can't feel them. Boss, are you unsteady? I'm sensing the starfire's afterglow. So that's how it is. Boss, even if you fell asleep here, everyone would think you were comprehending the Tao. Chase, the Starfall sword fire is only the beginning. Warren Redmond, we'll meet again soon. The Dragon Abyss sword embryo awakens. The 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace furnace will be born as well. The 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace furnace has barely finished its fire when another furnace arrives. Good heavens, the sect's divine sword. This project never ends. No way, another one collapsed. Why are these ancient relics so flimsy? No, they're not flimsy. After the starfire was taken, the sword-wielding technique lost its core strength. Everyone evacuate in tactical formation. The wounded go first. Damien, inventory the supplies. Tom, stop recycling the floor tiles. Sect Master, I haven't said we should recycle them yet. Those floor tiles look quite valuable. Manager Marcus's life is worth more than floor tiles. I know, but we can't lose everything. The Crimson Skysword sect records today's humiliation. Accountant, change manager, schedule our revenge. The revenge service isn't open yet, but we can collect a deposit first. The 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace's star chart fragment is here. Sophie took the star chart. I'll go after her. Don't chase her. The Sword Palace is about to collapse. Since she dared take it, she'll show herself sooner or later, waiting for you. The Starfall sword fire returns to the Nameless Sword sect. The Dragon Abyss sword sect. The Starfall sword fire. The Nameless Sword sect is truly using its divine sword. The sword embryo is nearly formed, but without a true Chi Dao treasure, forging it will remain impossible. The star chart taken by Sophie. Sophie, the sect master, is tied to the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace furnace. The Dragon Abyss sword embryo needs that furnace, a Chi Dao treasure that refines sect fortune into the sword. The Heavenly Palace bone-seeing envoy detects an abnormal bloodline in Tom. His aptitude is being supplemented, and Tom is connected to the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace furnace. I thought Tom only broke furnaces. I never expected a hidden main damage dealer in equipment, so I'm not just good at breaking furnaces. Of course not. Every furnace you break may be a necessary test before success. Master, that sounds encouraging, but it sounds expensive. The goal is clear. The Dragon Abyss sword embryo must find the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Furnace. Blood Force stole the star chart, so the Blood Sword sect is watching too. We can't let them get the money first. Manager, check the latest news on the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Furnace. What's wrong, Master? The news should be in Wanbao Ancient City. Wanbao Ancient City is the northern wilderness's largest trading city, and the Wanbao Chamber of Commerce controls its core territory. After hiding so long, we still have to go back. Our next stop is Wanbao Ancient City. Damien, you're finally coming back. This is Wanbao Ancient City. Even its floor tiles look more valuable than our sect's roof beams. No, they really are more valuable. The 9 Revolutions Heavenly Furnace is here. We have 3 days to acquire its remnant. Boss, this place is murky. Don't reveal all our assets before buying anything. Manager Marcus, you seem more nervous than usual. I'm simply showing respect for the market. He looks less respectful than cornered, like a debtor surrounded by creditors. Manager Hugo, you can't talk much, so don't discuss him. He's Damien, the missing young master of the Wanbao Chamber of Commerce. He's really back. Manager Marcus, young master, didn't you say you were an ordinary small merchant? Hee, there are many kinds of ordinary people. His cousin has been away for years, but she's finally coming home. The name stirs the crowd, Qian Qianten, the most sought-after heir of the Wanbao Chamber of Commerce. So Damien is really the missing heir of the Wanbao Chamber of Commerce? Young master, you're abandoning that position to manage some lousy sect? Cousin, you're bringing honor to the Wanbao Chamber of Commerce. The marketing manager corrects her. In the Nameless Sword sect, he's no ordinary manager. He's the marketing manager, with a formal contract and excellent performance. Then a challenger turns to me. You are Chase, right? The warning follows. Next time, make an appointment with the Nameless Sword sect before speaking. I heard you want to bid on the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace Remnant. That furnace is destined for me. The reply is cold. Destiny means money, qualifications, and reputation. The furnace is the Wanbao auction's centerpiece. Bidders must pass the Wanbao Chamber of Commerce qualification review first. Then the verdict lands. The Nameless Sword sect has insufficient assets. The assessment continues. Insufficient credit and an unstable sect rating. By the rules, you aren't qualified for the final auction. You did this on purpose. This is the Chamber of Commerce's rule, his cousin adds. If you're dissatisfied, follow the young master's assessment process. The condition is brutal. Earn 1 million spirit stones within 3 days. Prove your business ability and prove the Nameless Sword sect qualifies. 1 million in 3 days. Isn't that deliberately impossible? Ordinary sects couldn't earn that in a year. If you can't perform the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Technique, you're a broken furnace. You're not worth a glance. During the silence, an employee cuts in. Boss, there's a problem with this assessment. He only wants to force us out. Marcus faces me. Marcus, are you afraid? We can bear the loss. We never back down from profit. A decision follows. Then we'll accept the challenge. Sectmaster Chu, think it through. The Wanbao Chamber of Commerce's assessment isn't one of your Nameless Sword sect sales tricks. Who says we only know how to sell customers? I turned 3 days and 1 million spirit stones into a challenge. You think this is an insult? No, it's a financing window for my Nameless Sword sect. The announcement rings out. Nameless Sword sect, take the Wanbao Chamber of Commerce's assessment. I'll wait at the auction house in 3 days. The parting insult is sharp. Don't arrive too late to get through the door. Marcus calls for the project meeting. The Wanbao Ancient City money-making project is officially launched. I want to see what my cousin learned while away. The pitch is mocked. Selling broken sword manuals or low-end courses is your future income. Another voice cuts deeper. It sounds like selling dreams, not courses. I face the gathered audience. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nameless Sword sect isn't selling manuals, wooden swords, or low-end courses today. We're selling the future. Marcus objects. That sounds even more like a scam. I answer without slowing down. Don't worry, true masters always seem incomprehensible at first. I unveil the first offer. Battle merits and bonds. Buy bonds in advance, and future disciples of the Nameless Sword sect receive proportional spirit stones or cultivation resources after projects like the 7-star sword technique and Dragon Abyss sword ranking profit. One listener sums it up. In other words, I'm betting on you now that you'll become stronger. The explanation finishes the thought, not that we're necessarily investing in you. The second item is course authorization and profit sharing. The Nameless Sword sect's practical techniques can be licensed to schools and small sects nationwide, opening branch halls. Profits are settled monthly. A designated manager handles the contracts. All profit sharing is written in the contract. Anyone who breaches it pays tenfold compensation. The third item is medical cooperation vouchers. The medical hall's head offers priority treatment slots to cooperating sects. Slots are limited and first come, first served. A listener immediately sees the value. Our disciples already spend heavily at the medical hall during annual trials. The fourth item is equipment customization and restocking. The equipment supervisor will pre-order standard low-level gear for partners at 30% below market price. Later maintenance comes at the member price. The promise is practical. It isn't fancy, but it's durable. If it breaks, it can be repaired. Another voice agrees. At least we can repair equipment we can afford. The Nameless Sword sect serves ordinary cultivators too, not only geniuses who want to survive. Skepticism remains. What makes anyone believe the Nameless Sword sect will profit in the future? The answer comes in three parts. First, real cash flow. The figures draw attention. This cash flow is growing too fast. The accounts are clear, with no fraud. Then, second, contractual guarantees. All cooperative profits are guaranteed by the contract. The nameless sword sect compensates for breaches, and partners are punished for theirs. The final proof is potential. Our confidence comes from seizing the dragon source sword embryo and the nebulous sword fire. A buyer steps forward. I'll buy a battle merit. Another claims territory and course authorization, calling out purchases one by one. The crowd surges toward the limited cooperation slots. I make the point clear. Who says cultivation is only fighting and killing? Credit is also an asset, and the future is worth investing in. An observer marvels. Chase actually turns sect credit into assets. Another realizes the scale. The nameless sword sect isn't merely making money, it's redefining sect cooperation. The results stun everyone. Impossible! They raised that much in one day, a clerk reports. Snack boss, first day financing is complete. 1.2 million spirit stones. Supervisor, this isn't making money, it's robbing money, and making people queue. Thank you. Watch your wording. I correct them. This is called investing in the future. Marcus checks the result. Young master, is this enough for qualification? The answer is immediate. Enough. The qualification is granted. The nameless sword sect reaches the final auction, and the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace Remnant is unveiled as the grand finale. The starting bid is 500,000 spirit stones. That's it! The blood sword sect immediately counters. The nameless sword sect wants it, but my blood sword sect wants it too. The blood sword sect VIP bids. 1 million spirit stones. Only 500,000. We can double that. Blood sword sect will have it. Sect master, they can't take this furnace. Marcus, respond. I understand. Then comes the bid. 1.2 million spirit stones. The guardian sword sect dares compete, bidding 2 million spirit stones. Boss, we only have 1.2 million in cash. Any more bids and we're out of money. The blood sword sect isn't buying entry. They're wearing us down. The 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace can forge one sword for you. In my blood sword sect's hands, it can forge many more. Sword Emperor's corpse, nightless dust. They should be back in the blood pool. Don't move. They're provoking you. The blood sword sect wants the furnace to refine his remains. Which sword ancestor, Fuxi, should you recommend? Then never let them take this furnace. The blood sword sect VIP bids. 2 million spirit stones. Cut. Spread the word. The nameless sword sect's financing is empty talk. They don't have enough spirit stones. Can the nameless sword sect still raise the price? I heard they only just raised 1.2 million. The blood sword sect has pushed them to the brink. Will they take our money and bid recklessly? The nameless VIP warns. The price exceeds your public cash reserves. We must reconfirm payment and bidding qualifications. The auction official challenges Chase. If your sect offers only vague future profits, you can't keep bidding for thousand mountains. Another voice fires back. You're spreading rumors. I'm warning everyone against pretty words. Chase answers. All nameless sword sect financing contracts are registered. Profit, deadlines, and default compensation follow rules. Our 1.2 million spirit stones are genuine. The auction house responds. Continue bidding by staking non-cash assets, assessed here by the Wanbao Chamber of Commerce. Chase insists. My contract is real. The profit terms are clear. The official confirms. The contract is valid. Your qualification stands, but continued bidding requires sufficient reserve assets. Sectmaster, this auction house is no place for private duels. Sectmaster Chase, if you can't raise the price, stop arguing. The boss has no cash unless he stakes something bigger. The nameless sword sect announces, we offer 1.2 million spirit stones, plus future forging authorization for the Dragon Abyss sword embryo, after the Dragon Abyss divine sword is completed. The announcement continues. The partner gets one chance to observe forging and comprehend sword energy. It grants no Dragon Abyss sword ownership. The contract shop guarantees this authorization. The Wanbao Chamber of Commerce can hold and resell it. The contract shop can sign immediately. It's valid, with tenfold compensation for breach. If acquired, the Dragon Abyss Divine Sword makes it priceless. The Dragon Abyss Sword platform's authorization is valued at 3 million spirit stones. The nameless sword sect declares, we offer 1.2 million spirit stones cash, plus Dragon Abyss Sword platform forging authorization worth 4.2 million total. You're offsetting the price with future Dragon Abyss Sword platform revenue? The nameless sword sect is better at developing the future. Raising further only makes it cheaper for the Wanbao Merchant Guild. Since you can't win, we'll snatch it. 4.2 million spirit stones. Same price. Anything higher? Sold. The furnace remnant belongs to the nameless sword sect. Can you really touch him? From now on, he's your husband. Dragon Subduing. Protect the Heavenly Palace Furnace. Dragon Subduing moves against Tai Sanqian. Kill Tai Sanqian, and you're asking for death. Their target is both furnace and blacksmith. Why are you killing me? I'm just a blacksmith. Heavenly Palace Sword Bone. If I survive, the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace will recognize me as its master. You must die. I can't. I've been this way since childhood, someone explains. He was called a waste for exploding his furnace during chi cultivation. Another asks, how could he possibly listen to me? I can't take it, so I'll destroy it. Stop, the challenger sneers. A furnace-blowing waste dares challenge me? I've exploded 372 furnaces. I remember exactly where each crack began. You think you can destroy furnaces? Do you even understand them? The onlookers stare. What is he doing? Is he repairing the furnace? No, he's not repairing it. I make this furnace explode my way. First revolution of the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace. Remnant fire returns to the furnace. The observers realize the waste has awakened Heavenly Palace. They finally understand. I couldn't cultivate chi because I understood ruined furnaces too well. I've succeeded. Then I turned to Tom. From today onward, you're more than a sect weapon refiner. I hereby announce Tom's promotion within the Nameless Sword sect. Equipment shop manager, you are fully responsible for repairing the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace. Tom looks back. Sect master, everything I practiced before exploded. Nobody dared let me touch a furnace. That's because they didn't know its value. To me, even failure is core technology. Someone scoffs. Inspiring, but it's still wasting a furnace. The sect master answers. From today onward, nobody calls you useless. Elsewhere, a hidden observer realizes the truth. The Heavenly Palace Sword Bone is truly in the Nameless Sword sect. The news spreads quickly. Lu Yixing of the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace has awakened. Let them know what the Nameless Sword sect wants. The blood sword essence cannot be taken away. Tom vows. Sect master, I'll forge the dragon source sword embryo into a true sect-protecting divine sword. Good. Then comes his first assignment. Bring this furnace home. I approach the damaged furnace. Don't rush. I know where it hurts. Cracks can't be repaired by force. We must follow the old cracks first. The observers watch me work. He's actually talking to the furnace. Another voice murmurs, he's gentler with it than with people. For a genuine technology fanatic, this furnace is the perfect soulmate project. An elder from the northern wilderness Qidao Grand Sect arrives, representing the Heavenly Palace Pavilion, which inherited the Heavenly Palace Swordbone. Sure enough, it's on you. The elder introduces himself as an elder of the Heavenly Palace Pavilion. The 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace and the Heavenly Palace Swordbone belong to Orthodox Qidao. The elder points toward Tom. You will return to the Heavenly Palace Pavilion with me. Elder, you entered by snatching someone immediately. That's not very polite, is it? The elder snaps. You stole the Heavenly Palace Swordbone and hid it in the Nameless Sword sect, a makeshift organization. What a waste of talent. He turns to Tom. Awakening the furnace proves you possess the destiny of Qidao. Return with me, and I'll make you my personal disciple. I'll give you the best and most complete Qidao inheritance. A personal discipleship from an elder. How many weapon crafters spend their whole lives seeking that? Tom considers the offer. If someone had said that when I was a child, I'd have laughed in my sleep. The elder presses harder. Following Chase, you'll only become an equipment shop manager. At the Heavenly Palace Pavilion, you'd be the Northern Wilderness's brightest weapon-refining genius. Tom, you can leave if you want. Chase answers. Boss, he's a core employee on the furnace project. Core employees are people, not furnace parts. The elder commands, finish your current project, then hand over the equipment store. The sect leader stays calm. The sect will hold you a farewell party. Your contract says you can leave. If you truly want the Heavenly Palace Pavilion, I won't stop you. The elder retorts, you're pretending to be generous because you can't keep people. The Nameless Sword sect doesn't retain people with chains. Chase faces Tom. Think carefully. The Heavenly Palace Pavilion offers your talent and future. Here, ignorant people will only waste you. Tom looks toward the elder. Senior, what did you say wrong? Then he answers himself, you only want my talent. His gaze returns to Chase. The boss is genuinely good to us. Tom remembers the past. Everyone asked why my furnace always exploded. Only the sect leader said failure experience was core technology. Before that, nobody dared let me touch one. But the sect leader entrusted me with the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace project. I'm not leaving. I'm the Nameless Sword sect equipment shop manager and the project's person in charge. Tom stands firm. I have to finish this project. The elder admits, I was terrified. I nearly lost both a talent and a furnace. Chase challenges him. Are you unwilling to give up people or money? You're unwilling to give up either. The elder relents. Very well. The Heavenly Palace Swordbone stays out of the Heavenly Palace Pavilion. Instead, it remains in a broken sect built from nothing. Tom asks, is that really possible? Chase replies, words don't decide whether something is laughable. The elder invokes Qidao's rules. In 3 days, the Heavenly Palace Pavilion will face the Nameless Sword sect in Wunbao Ancient City's battle arena. If you lose, the furnace belongs to us, and Tom comes with it. Chase protests, you're using people as stakes. The elder answers, in Qidao, the strong control the furnace, and the weak obey. That's the rule. Chase steps forward. I accept the Battle Chi Sect Master title. If we lose, the furnace belongs to you, but Tom belongs to nobody. He is a person, not a furnace and not a prize. Humph. Very well, the elder declares. In 3 days, we'll show the northern wilderness how ridiculous the nameless sword sect is beside true Chi Dao. He asks Tom, are 3 days enough? Chase answers, I want them to see that even a furnace-burning waste can forge his own Dao. The elder reveals, the Crimson Flame Profound Gold Sword raises sword energy by 30% for cultivators below Sword King. The elder continues, as expected of the Heavenly Palace Pavilion, we immediately produce a high-grade spiritual sword. He challenges Tom, show me what your nameless sword sect equipment shop offers. After laughing, he scoffs, protecting your sword with 1 strike? Battle aura, or a street stall. The elder surveys our equipment. All these things together probably aren't worth the Crimson Flame Profound Gold Sword's hilt. Tom presents the first item. Nameless Standard Equipment, Set 1. Safe Sword Training Wooden Sword. It withstands full force sparring below sword path without damaging meridians. Set 2. DJ Wrist Guards with Embedded Heaviness Hall for automatic bleeding control after injury. Set 3. Detachable Statues for Array Fixation, Early Warning and Recycling. Light Armor for Rogue Cultivators, cheap, repairable, and affordable for ordinary disciples. Tom adds, mass production makes it 30% cheaper than market price. If it breaks, return to the sect for repairs. Old customers receive 20% off. Someone snaps, manager, this is a battle of wits, not a sales live stream. Another voice fires back, if the boss doesn't ride the traffic wave, he'll be struck by lightning. The elder dismisses it. Cheap goods remain cheap, no matter how many you pile up. The sect leader counters, a battle of wits tests practical energy limits, not price. Elder, the rules are clear. Victory depends on battlefield usefulness. They never mention expense. The battle begins. 5 disciples from each side enter a simulated battlefield. With their equipment, they must rescue, repair, and evacuate. The overall score decides the winner. See? This is what you call the Chi Dao. Sword energy tears through the corruption elixir, while the wrist guard medicine steadies the landing point. 3 steps, 1 flash, and light armor holds. Damaged armor pulls back to position 2. The wound is sealed, and the dosage is exact. No waste, no full replacement. The armor goes back on, saving precious time. Number 3. Stay calm and move out. The enemy formation ahead is unstable. Detour. Do you hear me? Detour. Anyone forcing through will pay for disrupting the recovery. Number 3. Light armor. 20% damage. Number 8. The stabbing unit has recovered. 5 sections of the flying weapon still retain 60%. The battle damage is under control. Each piece is cheap, but the set works as one. Earthly disciples can afford repairs in batches. That is what truly sells. Heavenly Palace's individual parts hit hard, but their endurance is limited. Its command arrows share that weakness, with too little coordination for repairs. Nameless Sword Sect's standard pieces lack high-grade power, yet they work together perfectly on the battlefield. This round, Nameless Sword Sect defeats the Wilderness. A high-grade spirit sword has lost to low-grade equipment. Elder, I want to pre-order this Heavenly Palace and Nameless Sword Sect equipment set. Our East Gate has many low-grade disciples. This is perfect for them. Pre-order slots are limited, so reserve yours first. The Chi victory brings an avalanche of orders. The battle at Ironstone Hall proves the equipment shop's worth, then turns it into the sect's best-selling department. Chi cultivation is not only about crafting divine weapons. Keeping someone alive is also a kind of prayer. That is the equipment shop's value. Winning with standard equipment isn't skill. It's merely a side path. The challengers turn toward Chase. Since you claim the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace furnace belongs to Nameless Sword Sect, will you test it yourself? The furnace is still unrepaired. Testing it is dangerous. Why is the sect leader hiding behind the equipment disciples? Are they targeting me directly? Chase, your disciples' victory proves nothing. If you're qualified to wield the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace furnace, test it yourself. The furnace still isn't fully repaired. A reckless test could damage your meridians, or let the furnace fire swallow your soul. Does Chase dare? After all, he isn't a weapon refiner. The warning comes plainly. The sect leader cannot test this furnace. It is still damaged. The furnace fire is unstable, and 70% of its key patterns are broken. Even Heavenly Palace elders might fail to suppress it. Do you hear that? Even your own subordinates know you're incompetent. If the sect leader is afraid, then hand over the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace furnace. A subordinate cuts in. Boss, the risk is too high. If the furnace explodes, it could kill you. Marcus receives the warning with dry amusement. These words sound touching, but why can't I laugh? Another voice taunts. Kid, this furnace can't be heated by blowing on it. Hugo tries to calm the situation. Hugo, don't worry. This sect master won't blow on the furnace today. What do I know about furnace forging? In my past life, repairing a chair leg earned me 3 extra screws at best. System, if you don't act now, we'll both burn to ash. Boss, a sect-level Chi Path mission has activated. Boss, command seal special form. 100 palaces return to the sect. Good. 100 palaces return to the sect. The Heavenly Palace Gate answers my call and falls under my control. Sect Master, my suggestion is for you. I use the furnace's impurities to stabilize it. Disciple, stabilize it. Every grain of material is money. The fire must stay contained, the chi patterns unbroken, and the contract is now established. The furnace shudders under the repair. Don't be afraid, we're not here to destroy you, we're here to repair you. Upgrading its key patterns, sword intent, and sword contract is impossible. Yet Chase controls Heavenly Palace furnace fire without cultivating chi himself. He commands the power of an entire sect. Nameless Sword Sect's Tao takes another step forward. The Dragon Abyss Sword embryo enters the furnace for its first revolution, and the rotation truly begins. Dragon Abyss takes shape. It is not a complete sword yet, but its first sword-shaped layer has been forged. Even I might fail to complete the furnace's first revolution, yet he did it instantly. Another witness realizes, I thought the boss knew nothing of chi cultivation, but he illuminated my Heavenly Palace chi. It turns out my Tao is in his hands. I force myself not to shake. One tremor could ruin my Chi Tao Grandmaster Act. Congratulations, host. 100 palaces return to the origin. Dragon Abyss Sword embryo is activated, completing the first sword-shaped layer. The sect's Chi Tao prestige rises sharply. Nameless Sword Sect has truly forged its own divine sword. The furnace test is complete. Elder, how was it? The Sect Alliance ranking order arrives. The authentic Divine Swords City Exit ranking arrives as well. Next comes the Northern Wilderness ranking battle among 8 sects. Nameless Sword Sect is finally stepping onto the main stage. The crowd surges with new demands. I want to join Loose Cultivator Hall. Even Nameless Sword Sect's low-ranking disciples can earn merit. Sect Leader Chase, our sect wants an alliance to buy standard equipment. Marcus, are there pre-sale slots left? I'm willing to pay the deposit first and wait in line. Go to the front desk to form an alliance. For legal equipment pre-sales, contact me. Don't crowd the mountain gate, or you'll pay for the damage. Don't rush. The equipment shop is new, and production is limited. Our sect is suddenly so popular that even wooden swords are in demand. The unfinished blade still carries a far stronger aura than before. With this sword, Nameless Sword Sect finally has the foundation of a true major sect. A 3,000 spirit energy debt has become a treasure sword, the Heavenly Craft Furnace, an equipment store, Yutong, and marketing. The startup is finally ready to go public. The Sect Master and the Sect Alliance General Committee receive major news. The Northern Wilderness is ranking its 8 great sects, and the Nameless Sword Sect can challenge the last seat. Win that challenge, and the Nameless Sword Sect officially joins the major sects of the Northern Wilderness. Winning the ranking battle turns the Nameless Sword Sect from a reserve into a formal member, but this battle differs from the 7-star Sword Palace's contests. This time, disciples aren't the only ones fighting. Elders, sect leaders, treasures, and the sect's foundation all take part. It sounds even more terrifying than the 7-star Sword Palace. The ranking battle of the 8 Northern Emperor sects. It's been years since we've seen such a spectacle. The goal is clear: claim a major sect's seat. This is no longer about merely surviving. The Nameless Sword Sect will show every Northern Wilderness sect that it deserves a seat. In only months, a broken sect buried in debt has reached this stage. Father, in the ranking battle, your son will personally cripple them. Another threat follows. Even crippled, the Nameless Sword Sect won't be a small problem. The Dragon Abyss Sword Embryo, Star Universe Sword Fire, and 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace give Chase a real chance to turn that shabby sect into a Northern Wilderness powerhouse. The Crimson Sky Sword Sect's leader has one objection. My Crimson Sky Sword Sect won't watch an unorthodox sect take a place among the 8 sects. The Thunder Sword Sect can cooperate, but the Sect Alliance hosts the battle. We can't openly break its rules. Who said we have to do it openly? The answer reveals a darker plan. The Blood Sword Sect has already prepared a secret scheme for the ranking battlefield. When Chase enters, we'll make the Nameless Sword Sect collapse before every Northern Wilderness sect. You have 3 tasks in the ranking battle. Give your orders, Father. Seize Leon's swordbone, kill Warren, and destroy the Dragon Abyss Sword. I understand. The father wants Chase to watch his so-called sect shatter on the arena. As a reserve sect, the Nameless Sword Sect challenges the first warrior. Its opening fight is a direct clash with the lowest-ranked member of the 8 sects, the Crimson Sky Sword Sect. The first matchup brings an old acquaintance immediately. Good, an old acquaintance makes the best publicity. Hasn't the Crimson Sky Sword Sect always treated us as nothing more than a popular online sect? The challenge is already clear. In this first battle, we'll show them what a true sect's reserve looks like. The Northern Wilderness sect ranking battle begins, and it sounds even more terrifying than the 7-star Sword Palace. The 7-star Sword Palace fights for opportunities. This battle decides sect positions, and one loss shames the entire sect. The Northern Wilderness ranking battle officially begins. After a brief silence, the rules expand beyond disciples. Elders, sect leaders, and sect treasurers may all participate. Winners rise, losers are eliminated. The sect alliance records each result without interfering. Meanwhile, the Nameless Sword sect's recent fame draws attention to the Dragon Abyss sword. They've taken all the limelight, the Starry Sky Universe Sword Fire and the 9 Revolutions Heavenly Palace Furnace. What use is popularity? A solid foundation can't be built through a few flashy moments. Just a trendy sect. On the ranked battlefield, you'll see the difference between a 1,000-year-old sect and a nouveau riche. The crowd watches from surprisingly clean ground. No sanitation inspector is needed. Supervisor, you're here as the genuine supreme advisor, not to inspect cleanliness. Aren't you still cleaning on the side? Then the Crimson Sky leader turns on Chase. Your nameless sect uses unconventional tactics, popularity, and hidden talents to fool rogue cultivators. But today, my Crimson Sky Sword sect will show the Northern Wilderness the difference between a trendy sect and one 1,000 years old. The insult only confirms the Nameless Sword sect is attracting attention. Our trendy sect has traffic. After a pause, the answer follows. Traffic isn't afraid of criticism. It's afraid nobody's watching. The Nameless Sword sect's pre-battle mobilization begins. A meeting before the battle? What a makeshift team. All these gimmicks before the arena. The sect leader announces. First, every battle merit will be doubled. Second, the medical hall covers all treatment and recovery costs for the injured. Nothing will be missing. The medical hall is ready. The next reward raises the stakes. Anyone earning merit may cultivate inside the Dragon Abyss sword embryo. Ordinary disciples get the same chance. Even disciples at our cultivation level can enter the Dragon Abyss sword embryo if we earn merit. After the pause, the 4th rule arrives. Battle merits can buy high-level resources. The equipment shop customizes protective gear, while Warren guides Leon through purification. Every reward is registered immediately and settled after the battle. The contract shop has filed the record. A contract breach means double compensation, though manager buys warning stays private. The transparent system steadies morale. The rival sect's rewards are calculated with startling clarity. Our members pay their own medical costs when injured. Even ordinary disciples can exchange merit for high-level resources. Really? The contrast quickly spreads through the crowd. The battle hasn't started, yet morale is already rising. Someone observes, Chase, this sect leader is becoming more competent. The sect leader sets the purpose plainly. We're not here to die or prove anything. We're here to secure our spots. The announcer calls the first disciple match, Crimson Sky Sword sect versus Nameless Sword sect. From the Nameless side comes a complaint. Who will send us to our deaths? Then another voice asks, Sect leader, what am I doing here? The confused disciple presses him. In the first match, what exactly are you leading? Nameless Sword sect? Sect leader Li Gosheng. I'm a rogue disciple and the chief disciple, not a suicide disciple. Chief disciple, relax, we'll follow the system. Then the leader turns to the others. Brothers, it seems luck is our only hope in this first match. The Crimson Sky Challenger sneers, you look down on ordinary disciples, don't you? Then our first match will make you lose to them. Crimson Sky mocks the Nameless side, a cowardly rogue cultivator, and 2 low-level disciples. Someone from the crowd asks, is the Nameless Sword sect out of people? The first match looks hopeless. It may end before half an incense stick burns. Crimson Sky fields 3 peak swordsmen. Li Gosheng is their weakest, yet still only a sword apprentice. This isn't a duel, it's a free win. Before the match, the senior disciple reminds his brothers, don't chase a beautiful victory, just win. One disciple asks, Senior brother Li, can you really pull this off? The sect leader said yes, so there must be a way. Then comes the command, kneel and get lost. The Nameless Fighter's movement draws a sneer. That's tactical movement. It's a petty trick. You dare cheat me? The arena rules never said I couldn't tie my shoelaces. The judges find no blood. The move followed the rules, and the minor injury is manageable. A second tactic comes from the Nameless side. Senior brother Li, use plan 2 and drag him down. The opponent demands, face him head on. The answer comes back, 1 sword each, and I'm dead. Why should I? The 3 underdogs hold off Crimson Sky's prodigies. This is teamwork, not a contest of cultivation. Crimson Sky's side erupts. Useless. 3 peak swordsmen couldn't defeat rogue cultivators. As the prodigies close in, one shouts, let's see you dodge now. Senior brother Li, now. Li answers, my spiritual power go down. The referee catches the trick. Crimson Sky prodigy, your armor is out of bounds. Then, fall. The frustrated fighter cries, you're here again. The Nameless disciple answers, as long as it works. The referee calls it again. Crimson Sky prodigy, out of bounds. Senior brother Li, one last blow. The brothers answer together, tactical finishing blow. The referee announces, disciples defeated. The crowd roars, Nameless Sword sect, Ordinary disciples won. They really won. Crimson Sky supporters cry out, Crimson Sky prodigy. Others realize, the weak can win, so the weak can win. Even the sect master is called. The nameless side celebrates, we won, and we won well. The victors are dismissed as tricksters. In the elder battle, let's see who you send to die. Another voice adds, trash lost to low-level rogues. Young sect leader, don't be angry. Crimson Sky refuses to accept the result. The disciple battle was only tricks. In the second elder battle, Elder Chie of Crimson Cloud will fight. Elder Chie is a peak sword king from the Crimson Cloud sword domain. The crowd expects Warren. The nameless sword sect should send Warren, right? Warren's sword intent may be strong, but the cultivation gap is overwhelming. Maybe Chase will have to fight personally. Chase calls toward Hugo. Hugo, the venue is dirty. Clean it up. Hugo fires back. Gu Xiao, what do you mean? Chase answers, nothing. I mean exactly what I said. Then he makes it plain. I'm saying you're trash. Hugo watches the spectacle, then complains. I watched the show and still have to work. He adds, record my overtime pay. Then Hugo specifies, Hugo, Elder Station overtime gets double the drinks. A nearby listener recalls, the nameless sword sect really sent an elder who works as a cleaner? Keep your voice down. That cleaner once swept away a sword king and humiliated me. Fear follows. I'm courting death. Then the attack is named. The Crimson Sky Sword domain is burning the heavens. Anyone entering that domain would be cooked alive, probably evenly. Hugo hears the threat and offers, Hugo, let this old man cool you down. The stunned response is simply, what? The crowd realizes an elder has defeated the nameless sword sect. That's a peak sword king. One sweep sends the opponent away. Hugo remarks, after sweeping, there's wine. Then he adds, return to the sect, there's plenty. The lesson reaches beyond the fight. What matters isn't your task here, but whether you do it well. Even a sweeper can bring honor to the sect. Disciple battles depend on tricks. Elder battles depend on the sweeper. Then the challenger points at me. Old Ghost Chase, do you dare fight as sect leader yourself? The challenge reaches me. You want to see me take action? After a pause, I answer, then you'd better stand firm. The Crimson Sky sect leader is taking the field himself. A Sword Emperor realm expert has entered. This battle is nothing like the Sword King Elders fight before. The third Sect Master battle puts the Crimson Sky Sword sect leader against me. Only sect leaders may fight personally. Your disciples, your cleaners, and all your clever schemes can't save you, Chase. This time, let's see how you hide. Then someone asks, Manager, is the Sect Master really fighting? The opponent is a Sword Emperor. From a cost perspective, if the boss fights and something goes wrong, the company suffers its greatest possible asset loss. Can't you just say, Sect Master, let me try for you? The rules forbid outsiders from fighting in your place, but the Sect Master has used Tong Yuye repeatedly. His energy still hasn't recovered. The first layer of the Dragon Source Sword embryo remains unstable. If I forcibly borrow its power, I must fight when the sect leader is in danger. Otherwise, my previous 2 victories vanish, and the Nameless Sword sect loses its challenge qualification. Someone makes the stakes plain. Kid, no one can replace you. The warning is blunt. This battle is no small matter. Hugo can't replace you. Warren can't replace you. Leon can't replace you. If I retreat, everything we won will be blamed on an incompetent sect leader hiding behind his subordinates. From the opposing side comes a question. What happened to the old sweeper? The taunts keep coming. You, Chase, don't even have the guts to enter the arena. No matter how strong the Nameless Sword sect is, an incompetent leader leaves only an empty shell. Sect leader Chase, you're not really afraid to fight, are you? Another voice answers, but the opponent is a Sword Emperor. The reply comes quietly. Anyone would be afraid. Those who followed me can only watch now. The sect leader protected us so many times, but this time, we can't help. I face the stronger sword master. I'm not a traditional sword master. I didn't win this battle alone. I relied on this sect, and on everyone willing to walk with me. The system detects a key node in the Northern Wilderness ranking battle. The system announces, the boss command seal's special form can activate. A sect leader victory greatly increases the sect's fortune. A defeat lowers its candidate qualification. The decision is made. Okay, then let's go, sect leader. After a pause, another voice says, don't worry, boss. You can fear death, but you can't fear trouble. The answer is immediate. That makes sense. The rival addresses me directly. Chase, I admit you're good at using people and creating momentum. He continues, but a sect's ranking ultimately depends on its sect leader. Then comes the sharper attack. Without the old sweeper, without Warren, without Leon, what are you? I answer from the arena. You ask what I am in this sect? This isn't a disciple waiting to fight. This is the sect leader. The opposing leader reacts at once. You dare condense your sect's Dharma image in a sect leader battle? I claim the power behind me. I am their boss and the sect leader of the Nameless Sword sect. Today, I will slay you, sect leader. The gathered fighters witnessed the true strength of a Sword Emperor sect leader. One sword strike could burn an ordinary Sword King to ash. The battle rules forbid outside interference. Then the system warns, if this sect leader system can't withstand it, I won't merely go bankrupt, I'll be cremated and listed on the stock exchange. The system responds, boss, the unifying seal's special form, Lord of One Center, is activated. The system records accumulated artificial recognition. The sect leader can rule the sect. As the sword's essence returns, I feel my sword intent flowing back into the sect. The system explains, the sect leader didn't forcibly borrow my sword manual, he's protecting him. Then the old swordsman cries, good lad, even this old man's, you dare use sword intent? I turn the contract itself into a sword tassel. Using the contract as a sheath, the sect's fortune won't dissipate. A voice from the sect calls out, sect master, hold up my chi patterns and aid the sect's sword. Another presence joins the battle. I've entered too. It's not that I have only a little survival instinct. I can practice swordsmanship as well. A hostile voice spits. Of course the nameless sword sect is useless. The rival tries to dismiss my power. Chase, the power you borrowed isn't truly yours. I answer, this isn't just my power, it's the people willing to believe in me. The opponent can barely accept what appears. It's impossible. After the long silence, the sword domain finally unfolds. This is no longer one person's sword intent, it is the Tao domain of an entire sect. The sword domain takes shape before everyone. The sword sect has actually succeeded. A child recognizes the result first. Father, you lost. The defeated leader stares at the fused blade. You didn't simply borrow power, you fused their Tao into one sword. Another voice echoes the shock. You fused our Tao into one sword. The explanation struggles to form. It's not about devouring our power, it's about making our power. There's already a spot. The watching sects see a future leader in me. Even handsome, 3 seconds is too long. System, does this form cost my life? The sect leader's form is about to end. Finish quickly, or your legs go weak in public. Understood, boss. The final 3 seconds begin. Still fighting? The arena announcer declares, in this battle, the Crimson Sky Sword sect concedes defeat. Crimson Sky Sword sect's challenge, 2 wins out of 3. The result follows. The winner is the Nameless Sword sect. Around the arena, voices erupt. The Nameless Sword sect really won. Crimson Sky Sword sect. The Northern Wilderness's 8 sects are changing. He survived and even won. Boss, this time you're amazing. Haha, thrilling. The ranking battle is not over. The real sacrifice has only just begun. Someone asks, what is this? Another voice answers, an underground array. A Blood Sword sect voice challenges the arena. You think today is the Northern Wilderness ranking battle? Wrong. This is an altar my Blood Sword sect prepared for every Northern Wilderness sect. The Crimson Sky voice accuses Sophie. Sophie, you dare scheme against my Crimson Sky Sword sect? After a pause it adds, this underground array wasn't built in a day. Sophie fires back. Your Blood Sword sect has tampered with the ranking battlefield for years, and you only realized it now? The Blood Sword sect reveals its design. My sword domain, the Crimson Sky Sword domain, the Profound Thunder Sword domain, sect disciples' blood, and rogue cultivators' resentment will nourish the Blood Sword ancestral sacrifice. A horrified voice answers, the Blood Sword sect used us as sacrifices. The explanation is grim. His life force was drained, the sect alliance contract was corrupted, and the Blood Sword sect reversed the protective barrier, sealing Jichen inside. Panic spreads. It's over. It's over. This is more dangerous than fighting in the arena. They don't even spare spectators. Those Blood Sword sect lunatics came only to fight for a seat and slap someone in the face. How did this become a sacrificial ceremony? Are Blood Sword sect members incapable of participating normally? The hidden enemy finally addresses the gathered sects. It's been a long time since we met, sects of the Northern Wilderness. Shouei answers with fury, how dare your Blood Sword sect act so presumptuously in my ranking battlefield?